contest goes deeper than the play on the field. Today's Alma Cares game is about honoring and supporting those who have battled or are still battling cancer. Today, the Scots are wearing special alternate jerseys, and every Alma College player has a name on the back of their jersey. This name represents an individual who has battled or is battling cancer that the player has chosen to honor. In addition, when a player from the Scots is mentioned today, they will be recognized as the honoree that they have chosen. The Keisha Y. Brown Angel Wings Fund is committed to making a difference in the life of an individual or family that has been impacted by cancer. Since 2007, the Angel Wings Fund, started by former Alma College women's basketball coach Keisha Brown, has provided financial support via scholarships to students and other resources to families in Isabella and Gratiot counties. Alma College Athletics and the Angel Wings Fund are partnering this year to provide resources to those families battling cancer in Gratiot County. All the money raised at today's contest will be used to provide meals to families in the local community during the holiday season. We thank you in advance for your support today. Go Scots! Good afternoon and welcome to Balky Field on the campus of Alma College for today's Michigan Intercollegiate Athletic Association football contest featuring the Hornets of Kalamazoo College and your Alma College Scots. At this time, let's introduce the projected starters. First for the visitors from Kalamazoo. Starting defensively for the Hornets. On defensive line, number 79, Bryce Balabuk, a sophomore. Number 91, a senior, Blake Kelsey. And number 57, Dylan Gackey, a sophomore. At linebacker, number 27, a senior, Brendan Moat. Number 22, Corey Garrison, a sophomore. And number 25, Tommy Kartz, a junior. As well as number 41, Adam Stapleton, also a junior. At defensive back for Kalamazoo, a junior, number 35, Gabe Myers. A sophomore, number 30, Brandon Speed. Number 31, Jackson Mitchell, a junior, and a senior at strong safety, number 28, Jack Miller. Starting offensively for the Hornets, at left tackle, number 76, Cody Wrigley, a junior. At left guard, a sophomore, number 68, CJ Aldred. At center, number 58, Jacob Zeller, a senior. At right guard, a sophomore, number 64, Travis Shemwell. At right tackle, number 65, Alamusa Assad, a sophomore. At receiver, number 11, Hunter Kiesling, a senior. A sophomore, number 83, Lucas Hannafan. Number 17, Nate Clark, a junior. And number 2, a junior, Jonah Spates. In the backfield for Kalamazoo, at running back, a senior, number 3, John Brunette. And at quarterback, number 8, a senior, Josh Nichols. On special teams for the Hornets, number 19, Ian Burr will handle the kickoff and punting duties. Number 48, Madison Barch, will handle the the points after touchdown. Fans, at this time, we ask that you turn your attention to the scoreboard to meet today's Alma College projected starters.
On the defensive line,
Jerome Robertson, Pontiac, Michigan.
Evan Mativa, Midland, Michigan.
Hunter Sanderson, Terry, Michigan.
Jalen Dunwoody, Detroit, Michigan.
at linebacker.
Odin Sofragini, Traverse City.
Gage Nelson, Standish, Michigan.
Eli Jackson, Morristown, Michigan.
At defensive back,
Drew Hom, Alma, Michigan.
Bryce Fredenberg, Bay City, Michigan.
Raphael Garland, Grosse Pointe, Michigan.
Jack Kretschmar, Marine City, Michigan.
on the offensive line,
Reese Townsend, Portland, Michigan.
Maddox Moselle, St. Clair, Michigan.
JB Couch, Alma, Michigan.
Lance Rademacher, Palma, Australia.
Owen Dank, Gloverville, Michigan.
at receiver,
Devin Frenchko, St. Joseph, Michigan.
Zach Paul, St. John's, Michigan.
Gage Kruger, Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Nate Webb, Cedar Springs.
in the backfield,
Eddie Williams, East Point, Michigan.
Carter St. John, Zionsville, Indiana.
on special teams,
Bryce Kemp, Traverse City, Michigan.
Joshua Hernandez, Detroit, Michigan.
Abram Evans, Romeo, Michigan.
Scots fans hailing from high schools across the United States. The pride of Alma College, the 101st edition of the Kilty Marching Band.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Alma College Football Live on Q104.9 WQBX with live video at almascots.com. This afternoon, live from Balke Field, it's an MIAA matchup between the Alma Scots and the Kalamazoo Hornets. I'm Jeff Somerville. Topher Goggin alongside as we welcome you into the Mercantile Bank Scots pregame show. And Scots come in flying high, 2-0 in league play, coming off the huge win last week over Hope. Kalamazoo riding high on their own. A big win over Adrian a week ago, a 4-2 record coming in here. What can we expect out here today?
Well, I think, first of all, I think we can expect some points.
Yes.
In that, obviously, Alma just continuing to light up the scoreboard, held to 35 by Hope last week in kind of lousy weather. The weather at the moment, at least, is fine. There are showers in the area, but we think they are going to stay south of us. A little bit hard to tell at the moment. The forecast has kind of changed on and off over the last couple of days. But you've got an Alma team, Jeff, averaging 55.5 per game, almost 500 yards. And then you got a Kalamazoo squad defensively. They're 4-2, but defensively they gave up over 500 yards in both of their losses, and they gave up 663 yards to Defiance and won. Also a 335-yard passing day to Oberlin in a win. So if they don't tighten things up defensively, they could find themselves in for a long day against this prolific Scots offense. But as you say, this has been a bit of a resurgence for Kalamazoo. They win their first 3 non-conference games. They have a 4th non-conference game coming later. They took their bye week earlier. So that is coming. They've dropped 2 conference games, beaten 44-17 by Albion, 42-14 by Olivet. So still some question marks there, but this is a squad that has fallen back a little bit after going 7-3 in 2018. That's the last time that they beat Alma. This is the first time they've played in Alma since 2019. That between the COVID reschedules and just some weird home-and-home adjustments to the schedule with Finlandia departing and so on, Alma has headed to Kalamazoo multiple times. So this is the Hornets' first visit here in a while. But they lost their last 7 games to go 3-7 last year, 0-6 in league play, 1-9 back in 2021. So to get off to that 4-2 start, I think feels good. They're coming off a nice win against Adrian last week where they put 45 points on the board. That was Coach Jamie Zorbo's 50th career win at the helm of Kalamazoo. Of course, he is an alum of the program. So they've got to be thinking, hey, we got a legitimate shot for a winning season.
Yes, for sure.
An uphill battle today against a very, very talented and undefeated Scots team. But I think they're probably looking at this game and saying, hey, if Alma has a letdown after so much focus and energy went into the Hope game last week, if we can catch the Scots maybe a little bit on an off day or looking ahead, that's where our opportunity lies.
Sure, and if you're Alma, you want to make sure you come out firing on all cylinders as they have so many times recently. The Scots just have been excellent on both sides of the ball. I thought last week played a really nice, complete game of football. Probably the best game they've played defensively this year against a very tough opponent in Hope. Really held Chance Strickland to next to nothing and outrushed, more than doubled up the rushing yards on Hope. A team that many thought might be able to dominate that game a little bit on the ground, especially in the conditions. Alma took it to them, and really in the second half, the Scots just decided they were going to grind it out right down Hope's throat, and that's what they did.
Sure, and really, I mean, the passing yard disparity was greater than the final stats showed because over 100 of Hope's 200 and some passing yards came from Ben Wellman when he came in late in the game.
Exactly.
Once things were a little bit more under control from Alma's perspective. It was an interesting flow of the game. Alma gets an interception on the first drive. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Go down. They get stopped on 4th down. They don't score. Another interception does set up a touchdown. It feels like Alma is absolutely dominating the game.
It did.
And then with 10 seconds left in the first quarter, Hope comes back and scores. And you look at the scoreboard and say, wait a minute, it's a tie game. What's going on? Because it did not feel that way. After that, a kickoff that Zach Poff says thank you very much and goes 94 yards to the end zone with a little shake and bake move around the 30-yard line. That was a beauty, his second kick return touchdown of the year. That put Alma on top 14-7, but still only 14-10 at half after a couple of missed field goal tries at the buzzer. And you kind of felt like, okay, this first drive of the second half is going to really matter. Alma was going to get the ball. If they got stopped, Hope was going to suddenly feel like this is a winnable game.
Sure.
On the other hand, Alma went on what you texted me. That was a big boy drive, and that was a very apt description, going the length of the field, stretching things out in a matter of just a few moments. The lead went from 4 to 18 and got more comfortable from there when all people, Khalil Brown throws a touchdown pass to Nate Webb. It was an interesting game from the standpoint that it was the first time in his career that Carter St. John has not thrown a touchdown pass. He did run for a touchdown, so we'll just adjust the stat to say he's accounted for a touchdown in every game.
Right, exactly.
But Alma finishes the game with 2 touchdown passes, but it's one from Rife and one from a running back in Brown. But
no complaints anywhere.
When you end up 18 ahead on the scoreboard, you don't really mind.
No complaints anywhere. It is the Cares game today, and both teams wearing special jerseys for the occasion. Scott's going through the Survivors Tunnel as they come out, getting ready to take the field here. Kalamazoo is over on the far side by the Stone Center, ready to take the field.
And you should
themselves.
explain more about what that means in terms of the term Cares game may not mean something to folks who haven't been paying attention during the week, but this is a cancer honoree day, partially a fundraiser for the Angel Wings Foundation, of course, which honors Keisha Brown, the longtime Alma women's basketball coach who coached through multiple recurrences of cancer. Man, she was tough through that, eventually passing away a few years ago. As somebody, Jeff, you and I are both on the board of the Party Cancer Treatment Fund here locally. The Angel Wings Foundation is another local organization that supports patients in a similar way to what Pardee does. Those two organizations work very well together in providing support to folks dealing with that horrible disease here in Gratiot County. But this is a meaningful game for the Scots. You kind of mentioned it, honorary jerseys. Every Scot has got a name on the back plate of that jersey honoring either a person who has had cancer, is dealing with cancer right now. Some are family members, some are friends. There's a lot of, I was walking around on the field, and there's a lot of grandmas, and there's some mamas and a dad and so forth, and it just tears your heart apart. But an opportunity to honor those folks. Those honorees will receive these jerseys after the game. The players have done some fundraising to fund the cost of those honorary jerseys. They're going to be, we've been told, they may be recognized by the names of their honorees over the PA during the game. We don't know if that's going to happen all game or just once, but they're going to really make a big deal out of this, which is super cool. We will try to continue covering that as the game goes on.
For those of you only listening on the radio or on the stream, the Scots jerseys are the black tops with pink lettering, pink numbers outlined in white. Look really sharp.
Now as the sun has popped out, those jerseys suddenly really start to pop. Exactly.
Looking pretty sharp are the Scots, and likewise the Hornets.
Alma in the midst of back-to-back home games. They'll be here again next Saturday against Olivet before finishing up on the road at Adrian, who's going through a coaching change, and then Albion in Week 10. And I think the challenge for Alma is to not look past these next three, that Albion still looms out there with a loss to hope, but in contention very much for a league title. They'll have a big one against Trine today. Alma can't be looking to the second Saturday in November. They got to focus on what's happening right here, right now. And what we're going to focus on at the moment is the playing of the national anthem. We will take a quick commercial break, come back to Balke Field right after this. Alma Scots football getting ready to begin here from Balke Field, taking on 4-2 Kalamazoo. A couple of things that Alma, I think, will want to work on today, Jeff. Today is an opportunity to work on the penalty numbers, which did not get much better last week. Alma has now found their way into the position that they are literally the worst in the country in penalty yards. 238 of 238, averaging over 100 yards of penalties a game. There are good penalties and bad penalties. You like penalties that come from being aggressive. You don't like ones that come from being passive or being sloppy. But 100 yards is too many no matter what kind there are.
Probably
and at some point, whether it's Albion, whether it's in the playoffs, who knows when, at some point an opponent is going to come where you cannot afford to commit that number of penalties and that kind of yardage. So Alma's got to work on that today. Of course, that is balanced with a number of good stats that Alma has, including being first in the country in kick return average, second in INTs, first in turnovers and turnover margin, ninth in sacks, second in passing efficiency, second in punt return defense. You name it, the Scots are up there somewhere. Kalamazoo with a couple of strong statistical items themselves. They're third in the country in fumble recoveries, tied with the Scots with 10. And fourth in fumbles lost, seventh in fumbles lost. Kalamazoo has only fumbled and lost it once this whole year. So they've got some things going for them as well.
Yeah, Alma's going to have to make sure they take care of the football.
Yes,
based
for sure.
on that stat, for sure.
And here's the interesting stat as far as I'm concerned. Kalamazoo ranked in the country in turnovers forced with 17. That's 10, or they're 17th in the country in turnovers forced, with 10 fewer turnovers forced than the Scots 26. That's how far ahead Alma is. Alma has won the toss and deferred to the second half, and that leads us into the stats that we wanted to talk about, provided by our anonymous statistician who said he did not want to be associated with this just in case the numbers were wrong.
I promised these on Wednesday for the coaches show for those who were listening.
So we'll refer to him as anonymous statistician John St. Stephen. You could probably deduce how that one actually works. But we talked about Alma and their ability to force turnovers on the first drive of the game. We could think of a variety of examples. Little did we know just how many there were, though. In now 18 games since the start of the 2022 season, Alma has forced a turnover 10 times.
That's incredible.
More than half. Additionally, 2 of the drives were 3-and-out punts. There were 2 4-and-outs. Only twice have opponents scored on that first possession. Last year, all 6 of the Scots MIAA games started with a turnover. 5 of them committed by the opposition. Then one game against Adrian where Alma got the ball and Carter St. John threw an interception. So apparently he just didn't want the ball first. Kalamazoo's going to have to take it first. We'll see if they can hang on to it. Of course, last week it was Soferdini with the early interception and then another one by Kretschmar, Fredenberg, sorry. They initially posted it as Kretschmar corrected it. Fredenberg had the second interception. Fredenberg also had an interception against Kalamazoo last year on the first play of the game. So Kalamazoo, one of those many victims that the Scots have struck with this very opportunistic defense. Josh Hernandez on to kick it away. Ball teed up at the 35-yard line, and we are just about ready to roll here from Alma College. Tyler Houle back deep to return along with Lucas Halifan. Halifan averaging about 24 yards a return. Houle a little over 10. And we'll see what direction Hernandez wants to go. It's high in the middle of the field. This will be Hanifan from the 10-yard line. Up the middle to the 20, hurdles over a tackler at the 25, spun forward all the way out to the 33-yard line. I think I said Halifan the first time. Hanifan, the Chelsea grad. And Lucas Hanifan had himself a state championship game. If anybody watched that state final a couple of years ago, where Chelsea came from behind to knock off Unity Christian 55-52. Hanifan had 5 touchdowns for Chelsea in that game. He is a weapon. Only used sparingly last year, but 28 receptions, 393 yards, 4 scores this year. Josh Nichols out there at quarterback. 1,552 passing yards. That's third in the MIAA. 14 touchdowns, 7 interceptions as he begins his senior campaign out of Franklin, Tennessee. He'll take it on first down and hand it off to John Burnett on a delay counter up the right side for about 3 to the 38. Burnett, the reigning MIAA Offensive Player of the Week, off a 72-yard, 2-touchdown performance last week.
Yeah, I like that opening play call. Just a little misdirection. Getting Burnett off the right side there, made a nice cut. Gave him a heck of a spot, too.
Yeah, pick up of nearly 5 by the time all is said and done. A little fake to Hanifan on a jet sweep, rolling left as Nichols throws on the run. Out near the sideline and a shoestring catch by Kiesling, who's got the first down at the 39.
No, he did get the first down, but he got a terrible spot.
Yes, they're going to move the chains anyway after putting the ball behind the marker. which is what he should have gotten anyway. Jonas Spates leads this team in receiving yards by 1 yard over Hannafan. He's wide to the right. First down, Kalamazoo from the 44. Alma almost jumps offside. Quick play fake, throw to the left sideline, and out of bounds is Kiesling again. Drew Hum on the coverage, but into Alma territory.
That's where Alma has been a little bit susceptible this year, is in the quick, short passing game. Teams have been able to find some spots. Kalamazoo trying to move with some tempo, much like Alma does.
Of course, Alma sees that in practice regularly. 2 receivers to both sides on 2nd and 3 for the Hornets. Rolling right, Nichols the senior throws on the run, and a big hit provided the ball off the mark, looking for Clark, and Anthony Spears just elected to lower the shoulder in case Clark was closer to the ball than everyone thought.
The big third down situation here on drive number 1, 3rd and about 3, just across midfield. Scott's defense needs a big stand here. They got good pressure on that last play.
Hannafan and Spates go to the right. Kalamazoo needs the 46-yard line. They're at the Alma 49. First drive of the game here on a currently sunny Saturday afternoon. Quick play fake, standing in the pocket, thrown over the middle, complete, and then knocked away at the last second on a big hit by Fredenberg.
Yeah, Fredenberg lowered the shoulder right into the chest, and the ball fell harmlessly incomplete. And the punt team is going to come out for Kalamazoo, and the Scots punt team is not exactly ready. They're going to send just a return man and the rest of the regular defense out there. I think they might think something's up here.
Certainly a suspicious spot on the field as Ian Burr comes on, also out of Franklin, Tennessee, a high school teammate of Nichols. Joe Debski back to return if it is a punt. Kalamazoo working on its alignment. Wide splits along the offensive line. Burr stands on his own 36. Alma with all the defenders standing up, though crowding the line of scrimmage. And Burr wants to roll. He's thinking about doing something. He will punt it, though. Sort of an Aussie rules style kick. Debski just points that it's headed to the sidelines. It goes out of bounds.
He had options there.
So Kalamazoo avoids the first drive turnover curse. But they do have to punt it away, and Alma will start inside their 20.
Scots will have poor field position here. Pretty good possession for Kalamazoo to at least put Alma, they picked up 1 first down, put Alma into a tough situation to start the ball game here. Ball hasn't been spotted quite yet, but I think it's going to be at the 19-yard line, so Alma will have 81 yards in front of them.
Carter St. John on the season, 71% completion percentage.
Spot just went back to the 15 from the 19, so.
St. John, 85 of 119, 19 touchdowns, just 1 interception. He'll send Nate Webb in motion, who caught 2 touchdowns last week. Play fake, stand in the pocket, looking downfield for Frenchco, and the Aunt Didi jersey, and Aunt Didi's on her way to the end zone. Frenchco, 85 yards. Hello!
That's insane. That is just ridiculous. 85 yards, 1 play, and there wasn't anybody within 5 yards of Frenchco. He ran right by him.
Frenchco, his longest reception on the year, previously was 77, now it's 85. 57th catch of his career, goes over 650 receiving yards on the season. The Scots, of course, with another new razzle-dazzle 2-point conversion formation. It's an inside pitch, and the 2-point try is good from Kruger to an unknown person. I believe that's number 86, right? So if we'll take a look here, that's Broderick Miller, who snuck into the backfield there. Miller with the 2-point catch. Alma leads at 8-0. We'll be back after this. They beat us back from commercial, but Hannafan on the kick return for Kalamazoo brings it from the 5 out just shy of the 20. Kalamazoo's defense will roll back out, but Alma got it done and did so in a hurry. Carter St. John to Devin Frenchko, 85 yards, one play, and an 8-0 lead off the Broderick Miller two-point conversion catch.
It happens quickly. It really happens quickly.
Kalamazoo will bring in Sheldon Riley in the backfield, I believe. Double check that here as the play begins. It is Riley. He's got a dance
trouble
in the
with the
backfield
exchange there.
Goes the wrong way, loses a yard.
I think goes the wrong way might have been where he went on that handoff as well, because that was awkward looking.
Could be. Eli Jackson makes that tackle along with Evan Mativa. 2nd and 12. Scots move up the coverage a little bit tighter here. Back to pass. Nichols looks over the middle, drops it underneath, caught by Spates. Short gain. Or no, sorry, Kiesling.
Hobbled it a couple times there. Scots are going to bring on Robertson, among others, on the 3rd down situation. Try to get some pressure here.
And pardon me, 3rd time's the charge. It's Andrew Durbin, the tight end, who made that catch. I saw the 2 on the jersey, but it was a 12. Durbin now lined up at a wide receiver on 3rd down and 7. Kalamazoo trailing 8-0 here in the first quarter already. Nichols under a little bit of pressure. Pocket holds, passes it. Alma tries to jump the route, but still making the tackle over there as Kiesling does make this catch short of the first down at the 27.
No real gain, but a great jump on the football that time by Marlatt.
He, of course, had that incredible
Couple
game
touchdowns,
back against Manchester. Defensive Player of the Week. One went 100 yards on a blocked kick return. Debsky deep to return. Burr rolling to his right, line drive, running kick, lands at the 47 and bounces big time forward. Debsky going to stay out of the way, and this will roll all the way to the 22-yard line.
Yes, it will. That rolled quite a long while.
Neither of these teams dominates time of possession. Kalamazoo comes in averaging just 23.5 minutes per game. Alma 27, but
it was a very quick 3 and out from Kalamazoo right there, and obviously the Scots have just one play, accounting for however fast Frenchko can run 85 yards.
Right. 11:22 to play in the first quarter, 8-0 Alma. Eddie Williams, who had a great game last week, his first 100-yard effort of the season, 119 against Hope out there at running back. And he gets it on the first play of this possession, cuts outside to the left, and crosses the 30 to the 35, dragged out of bounds from behind there by Corey Garrison.
First down yardage gain of 13.
43rd tackle of the year for Garrison, and the Scots hustle to the line of scrimmage. Nope, hustle past the line of scrimmage as the line of scrimmage is getting worse.
It is, but the 35-yard line, still a gain of 13.
Williams again on first down, same play, this time cuts it up into the fray, initiates some contact at the 40 for a pickup of 5.
Discards his towel, heads back in to the field of play where the Scots, as soon as the ball gets spotted, will be ready to go.
2nd and 5. 3 wide to the right. St. John fakes the little push pass, now throws it up over the middle. A leaping catch by Webb, and he's off to the races at the 35, the 30. The lumbering tight end inside the 20 down to the 16-yard line.
A gain of about 42, 43. You maybe even can call it 45. A good spot down there to the 15.
Nate Webb trimmed off 5 pounds this year, now 6'3", 235, and got moving down to the 15-yard line. Scott's ready to go. Eddie Williams, right tackle, this time for 2. That hole closed fairly quickly. And now Alma will make some wholesale substitutions. Cole Thomas in, Miller, who caught the 2-point conversion in, McNiff in, and Noah Jansen.
St. John 2 for 2, 130 yards so far. Pretty good start to his afternoon.
His passing efficiency numbers fell off. He's barely over 200 in the QB rating coming into today.
He's at 811 currently.
There you go. Pump fake on 2nd down and thrown just shy of the marker. A sliding catch made out there by Miller. Be 3rd and 1.
Todd Kelsey's pass complete to Jeff Ford.
Again, if you hear the PA announcing names that you don't recognize, those are the honorees that have been picked out by the Alma players. 3rd down and 1 from the 6-yard line. Alma already with an 8-0 lead and looking for more. Hand off to Williams. Stumbles in the backfield, tripped up there, and now decision time. They went for it in a similar scenario on a goal-to-go situation last week. Will they send the field goal unit out on 4th and a full 2? It looks like they will not, but they are going to change the personnel.
Rife's coming in.
They'll go with...
This is a little bit further than I like to see him coming on from. I've said that a few times.
On a 4th down, if you had 2 plays to do it, might very well make sense. But Dominic Overway comes in. Scott's going to try to pound it here on 4th and 2. Cameron Cole as well. Kruger bursts out of the huddle first, then Alma will come and set very, very quickly. Cole, the running back. Rife, delay, waiting for a hole to open. It does open inside the 5. He stumbles and crosses the goal line. Davin Rife in the end zone. 14-0 Alma.
A huge hole for Rife that time. The offensive line just blew it open.
Patience paid off. If Rife had gone on the snap there, I think he gets plowed.
Yeah, I think so
but
too.
If he waited, line had the chance and cleared the path, and Alma extends their lead midway through this first quarter. Rife's 4th rushing touchdown of the year, 15th career touchdown overall as Hernandez boots the extra point in a traditional fashion this time. 15-0 Alma early. We'll pause, come back right after this. Third consecutive Hernandez kickoff into the exact same spot. Hannafan again, this time from the 7. Crossed the 25 with a hurdling move to go over his own teammate. Tackled at about the 27. Went right up over the top of Sam Hughes.
Pop in there by Beaudry.
Lucas Hannafan on the return.
Kalamazoo with a little bit shorter roster than Alma, as most teams have a shorter roster than Alma, but just under 100 players on this Hornets team. A little over 50 of those are new faces this year.
Kalamazoo needs a score here to stay involved in this thing. They do not want to give it back to Alma quickly.
15-0 off the Rife touchdown. Hand off into the middle to back number 3. That's Connor Bell. Not wearing number 3, that's Burnett, but Bell, the third back that we've seen today, picks up 3. Detroit Catholic Central sophomore, also a hockey player who is minoring in Chinese. We talked many times about the academic accomplishments that the Scots have. These Kalamazoo players can match them and then some in certain instances. Some really bright kids out there thrown on 2nd down and a 1st down catch for Devin Yankee from Chippewa Valley. Out to the 42, but we'll talk more about that as the game progresses.
Nichols 5 of 7 so far. Not a lot of yardage, but finding those short passes that are there.
Drops to throw with time on 1st down, thrown under or complete underneath the Hool.
Fairly safe passes, 5-6 yards.
Yep, it's good for 6 right there to the 48. Second and 4, Kalamazoo also keeping the tempo up. That's why these teams have such low time of possession numbers, and Jalen Dunwoody quickly blows that one up. Good work, frankly, by Bell to turn that into a gain of 3.
Really
Dunwoody was right there.
Scott's bringing their traditional 3rd down rushers onto the field here on 3rd and a short 1. A 3rd and a full 1, we'll call it.
Underhill off, Eastman in. Bell continues in as the running back. 3 wide receivers to the left, 3rd and a yard. 15-0 Alma early, Kalamazoo driving. And Bell going to fight for 1st down yardage to the 47. Has it by a yard.
Nice job by Bell to fight for the yardage and get that 1st down.
Bell in the 3-2 engineering program is popular at Kalamazoo, similar to what former Scots kickoff expert Caleb Kinsvatter was looking at. Deep drop from Nichols, in trouble now on 1st down. Gets out of there, rolls left, sidearm throw, and it's intercepted. back across the field and trying to pick up a number on these jerseys. We'll wait when they come out of the crowd. I think that's a 27. I think that's Dykelborer.
It is.
Jared Dykelborer with the pick out of Wyandotte Roosevelt High School. He's a Dean's Lister himself. Smart folks on both sides of the ball, and this time the Scots defense prevails, and they've forced yet another turnover. That's interception number 17.
Now Dykelborer just got into a good spot. A lot of pressure. And tried to sidearm it out of there. I thought just into the ground is where he was going with it, Toph. And Dykelborer was just flashing over and was right there.
Scooped it up. It was a good job by Nichols just to escape. So the Scots offense already with 2 touchdowns on the board returns. Here's Jordan Williams, his first carry of the game, accelerates up the left, tumbles across midfield, just lands on his feet and picks up 3 more yards to the 46.
Yeah, he laid a helmet into one of the linebackers and went right over him.
Jordan Williams honoring Terrence Williams Sr. here in the Cares game.
It was Cartez that he went over, which is unusual.
Yeah, Curtis is not someone that happens to on a regular basis. 2nd down and 1. St. John off a play fake, rolling right, fakes the underneath throw, looks long, and he's just going to run with it, take the first down, and get out of bounds. Big block, and too big from Cole Thomas. And this one's not going to count.
You're going to call it a blindside, maybe?
Possibly. We'll take a look.
Be 15-yarder, I believe. It's going to be, could be a block in the back, could be a blindside, could be unnecessary roughness. A lot of different options here. We'll see what he says.
Personal foul, blindside block, offense, number 3. 15 yards from
I always feel good when my first
good guess.
My first one was right.
Well, it's always safe when you postulate 17 different penalties that one of them will be correct.
Well, that's why I said it's good when my first one was right. But that's going to put the Scots in a hole here, certainly. 2nd and 15. And a chance for Kalamazoo to flip the momentum a little bit here.
15-0 Alma. 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. Twin receivers to the right. Thomas now comes in motion at the H-back spot to the left. Quick throw out to the right sideline. Gage Kruger bobbles it and then speeds up the sideline as he makes the grab out to midfield. Gets 10 of the 15 back. You got Miller on that one?
That's Miller again, yeah.
You're right.
Miller playing a big role today.
Jersey, the numbers change on whether they're easy or hard to pick up based on the position of the sun and the clouds. 3rd down and 5, thrown out to the left. McNiff hit as he catches it and nothing doing there. Great defensive play by Jalen Bowles Swain, the sophomore DB coming off a 6-tackle game against Adrian last week.
I think Elmo will probably punt here.
I think you are correct that will summon Bryce Kemp. 21st punt of the year coming, averaging just under 40 yards. Scots have been excellent in kick coverage, ranked nationally in that department. Alma did have one punting mishap against Anderson when the ball got snapped right between Kemp's legs. No pressure. Spates gets out of the way. The ball angled towards the sideline and out of bounds inside the 20. So Kalamazoo absorbs the difficulty of the interception, gets the ball back quickly, but still dealing with a 15-point deficit on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they've got to find a way to sustain some offense. The rushing has not been there at all. Pass, like we said, 6 of 9, but just 42 yards, and now the interception.
Burnett comes back in as the running back, as we said, 72 yards and 2 touchdowns for Player of the Week honors. Last week, a touchdown in 4 out of 6 games for Kalamazoo this year. Oh, whoops, and Spates went too soon. The ball didn't get snapped. He heard the clap and took off. And Kalamazoo's going to give back 5.
I can tell you it was a pass.
Had that look, didn't it? Jonas Spates was not interested in blocking Drew Hum. He was interested in getting by Drew Hum. Dykelborer, who just had the interception, sets up over on the right-hand side. Still trying to get the defensive call, hollering over there at Eli Jackson, but Kalamazoo's ready to go. Over the middle, complete, and out to about the 24.
Got a lot of it back there, about 13 yards, make it 2nd and 2.
Good to Clark. Lowell product.
Again, some room in the middle of the field.
Yep, that's where the soft spots have been. You diagnosed that one early on. 2nd and 2, so Kalamazoo no trouble with the false start. Get that back and then some. 3 down linemen for Alma. Nichols and Brunette in the backfield. Straight drop. Looked like a called quarterback keeper. Now Nichols gets out of there. He's fairly elusive. Picks up the first down to the 29. Rushing stats on the year, 46 carries, 106 yards. You always wonder because you've got sack yards built into that. But when a quarterback is carried it 46 times through 6 games.
There are certainly some called runs, no doubt.
So Nichols moves the chains there out to the 29. Now Brunette on first down. A little hop step to his left and out to the 33. Eastman in on the tackle along with a couple of other Scots. Eli Jackson in the mix as well. Jackson 8 tackles last week against Hope, had 12 when the Scots were last at home here against Trine. A 70-30 win on homecoming. 2nd down and 7. Play action over the middle, tipped up and incomplete at the line. A couple of Scots rueing that they weren't able to find that one while it was up high in the air.
He held the fake on the run pass option for a long time before pulling it out, and by the time he did and went to throw, the Scots were right on top of him. Just put a hand up, knocked it up into the air, but nobody was able to get to it.
It was Matt Oswald out of Beale City who was frustrated that he couldn't snare it. 3rd down and 6. Pressure comes, flag down. They're going to blow this dead, and it doesn't help.
Perhaps
Nichols
he should have blown that dead a little earlier because Nichols got sacked quickly.
Nichols is going to say, hey, if you're going to flag us, let's get that whistle blown.
Blow that dead a little earlier.
Alma, as we said, really has improved in the pass rushing stats this season.
Not all 11 were set before the snap, 5 yards.
Really? Didn't get all 11 set before the snap. That I didn't see that one, but
20 sacks for 139 sack yards for Alma coming into today. 3:36 left in the first quarter, 15-0 Alma. Kalamazoo has crossed midfield a couple of times, but stalled out once on a punt, once on an interception. They're going to go empty here.
Watch out, Buddy Hogan's coming off the end.
Hogan got big pressure on a couple of plays last week. He's not coming this time, though. Nichols in a little bit of trouble. Flashes out to his right. Now back pressure comes from Jackson, and Nichols just airmails it out of bounds. Caught along the sidelines to a round of applause from the bench. And 4th and 11 coming up.
Big time pressure. Robertson again.
Now Robertson first, and then kind of a delayed rush out of Jackson.
Alma might be able to get pretty good field position here. With this rugby-style kick, though, it's tough for Depke to know where to go to field it.
Debsky is 2nd in the MIAA in return yardage for punts at 8.4 along of 43.
He's been good.
Now, a late discovery. Alma was still trying to figure out what they wanted to do in the return game right
Can't
up to
return
the Ohio
this one
Northern
either,
game.
though.
Another line drive, and it lands Debsky directing traffic to keep his players away from it and downed at the 34.
Very nearly had a Scott right into it there.
Yeah, I think that Alma may want to think about how they want their gunners on the near side of the field to handle that, because there is some risk of one of those line drives.
Yeah, that one didn't bounce very well, and it almost hit Fredenberg as he went by.
Alma, a couple of touchdowns on their first 2 possessions. A punt on possession 3 sends Webb out as the H-back this time. Frenchco will be on the near side. Gabe Myers, with 3 interceptions on the year, has to cover Frenchco, who went 85 yards for a score on Alma's first play. No pressure on St. John, but nobody open. Runs up the middle, cuts to his right at the 40, tumbles forward to about the 38.
Dirty hit late. That's not going to get called, apparently.
Pops right back up. 8-yard pickup.
Yee. You'll almost always see the flag fly when the quarterback gets hit like that after he's given himself up. Not any other player on the field, but...
Handoff into the middle. Williams snags a first down. Eddie Williams back in there, pushing the pile, which is...
We're playing rugby.
Going to stalemate around the 50-yard line, and Zach Poff says...
Let's go.
Yeah, let's get ready. He wants Kruger over to the left side. He knows the play call, and the Scots will be ready as soon as the ball is. 2:34 to play first quarter, 15-0 Alma.
Yeah, this umpire is very slow to set the ball, slower than what Alma would like.
Everyone's slower than what Alma would like.
Well, that's fair.
Williams on first down gets a couple more.
Another rugby pile.
Yes. To hire some Philadelphia Eagles and get the old tush push working in there.
Back-to-back plays. Kalamazoo doing a great job of getting bodies to the ball carrier, though.
Jordan Williams will check in for Eddie on this second down. Jordan Williams, 4 combined touchdowns this year, 3 on the ground, 1 receiving.
Both good out of the backfield receiving the football.
Very
certainly.
much so.
Both Jordan and Eddie.
Very much so. 2nd and 9, roll out from St. John, quick throw underneath, caught at the 45. This is Poff with his first grab, and he wrangles his way to a first down, but loses the football.
He did,
and let's see, fumbled and recovered by Kalamazoo.
That's what we talked about in the pregame, is the Kalamazoo propensity for creating fumbles, and they did it right there as Poff fought for that extra yardage.
That's the 11th fumble recovery on the season for Kalamazoo, and now a turnover apiece for these teams, which leaves Alma at a mere plus 22 on the season.
Kalamazoo's really settled in nicely here, though. They've stabilized the deficit at 15, playing some pretty good football.
We talked as well about how well Kalamazoo has taken care of the football and not fumbling it. That leaves them plus 8 in turnover margin on the season. Not as gaudy as Alma's plus 22, but good enough to win you a lot of games. First down, handoff right up the middle for not a whole lot. And it's Riley back in there, the Brighton product.
Yeah, there's not a lot there in the rushing game so far.
Kalamazoo just sort of shuttling in a new back every possession.
They are.
With their 3 primary ball carriers. Riley doesn't take the fake this time. Nichols in trouble, gets away from Sofrodini, rolls right, throws, flag late, incomplete, underthrown, looking for Hannafan. Flag came back at the 39-yard line, and let's see, it was the head linesman who threw it.
They might have gotten ineligible man downfield. Could be in the area of holding.
I said that the referee was signaling holding and anticipating it being declined, but there'd be a lot of decisions to be made. I think we need a little more info first.
I thought that there was an outside chance that they had an ineligible, but it is going to be a hold. 64.
Yeah, Alma's going to accept the penalty, which I think makes sense.
Travis Shemwell, the right guard, and he had to block for quite a long time as Nichols got out of there again when it looked like he was in a dire situation.
Nichols has been under more than his fair share of duress.
Well, then he decides to signal to decline it, so Scots will decline the penalty now.
All right, so Alma's going to take 3rd and 9 over 2nd and 19, which is one of those kind of interesting decisions that you certainly can see the arguments on either side.
3rd and 9. With the pressure that Alma's been able to get so far, I think I like the decision.
Chandler Holloway has the coverage on Spates. Quick little flare pass out to Riley on the right side. Initiates a collision at the 40, dragging forward to the 45. They need the 47 for a first down. Not going to make it.
A couple of nice broken tackles there, certainly. He comes out the other end still with the football. But he's going to be stopped at the 44. And there comes the punt team.
So far, Coach Zorbo has been conservative in these situations.
He has been, and they should be able to pin the Scots very deep here with the way the punting has gone so far for them.
So let's keep an eye on the right side of the Scots kick coverage. You've got Hum and Fredenberg who are in the danger zone.
They are.
Of a low ball coming in. Debski back at the 21 for Burr's punt. Rolling to the right. Burr going to quickly kick this one away. This one might be returnable. Debski says no thanks, though, and watches it bounce forward. And I tell you what, Ian Burr, a 4-time Special Teams Player of the Week, showing why. And it's not necessarily that he punts it a particularly long distance. It's that it just is
goes
not
to the
returnable.
right spot.
It is not returnable. 23 seconds left in the quarter. And Alma will send the offense back out one more time.
Now this time the Scots are going to have a very long ways to go, as I believe it's going to be spotted down at the 11-yard line, so 89 yards in front of them.
Things have gone a little bit downhill for the Alma offense after 2 quick strikes followed by a punt and then a turnover.
Got Cole Thomas in there at a wing.
Eddie Williams back as the tailback, gets it. Going to burst to his right, hitting the backfield, tumbles through that out to the 15. That's a 4-yard gain that could have been considerably less.
Kalamazoo defense has played pretty well here. Webb out, Frenchco on, 10 seconds to go in the quarter. We'll see if they just run it out here.
7, 8. I was going to say, there's enough time if Alma wants to run a play.
Very odd to see the Scots do that, but they will not run one.
Nope, they're going to let this one go. 15-0 after 1. We'll switch ends. Keep going. Stay with us. Alma Scots football on Q104.9. One quarter in the books here at Balke Field. Alma leads Kalamazoo 15-0. Road score from Albion. Trine 14-7 up on the Brits after one as Alex Price, fifth-year starter, trying to pull a small upset at least on the road.
Yeah, little one.
Do Alma a favor looking at the remainder of the schedule if Albion was to suffer their second conference loss. Second down and 6 for Alma as we get the second quarter underway. Eddie Williams, a carry to the right, finds a cutback lane and bounces off a couple of tacklers, stretches the ball forward, and has the first down to the 22, yes.
That was a nice run from Eddie. Broke a couple of tackles, kept the legs churning.
Just a little zone play, I believe, where he looks for a cutback lane, waits for that to open up. 3 wide to the right on first down. St. John rolls that way, takes the underneath throw to Poff. He cuts to the inside of the 25, now outside to the 30, and goes out of bounds at the 33. Should be another first down, depending upon where that foot hit. Looks like they're going to mark him at the 31, and that will not get it. But good to see Poff make a sure-handed catch after the fumble. Remember, he fumbled a kickoff and then took the next kickoff to the end zone earlier in this season. They go back to him again on a little wide receiver screen and a first down out to the 40.
Scott's trying to crank the tempo now.
But just pointing out, Scott's more than confident in Zach Poff and go right back to him.
Yep.
He's got an impressive year, 5 receiving touchdowns to go with the 2 kick return scores. Handoff Williams on first down, sidestep to the left, tumbles out to the 45 for 4 more. And Alma on the move. Miller comes back on as the Scots have sort of wholesale subbed the wide receivers as units this time. They don't always do that, but this will be Miller along with Webb, Jansen, and McNiff all in on second down and 7 for Carter St. John. Ball on the right side, hash, play action, straight drop. St. John with a lot of time, going to take the underneath throw again, caught by McNiff, and he's got a first down into Kalamazoo territory to the 41.
Well, you want to talk about just calm, accurate passing from Carter St. John. Now, he's got all day, too.
4th catch of the year for McNiff. He had a couple grabs against Kalamazoo last year. Alma from the 41, another quick throw out to the sidelines. This time it's Jansen's turn. Cuts to the inside. The wide receivers block so well on those plays. And Jansen gets about 8 more to the 32.
But you watch this, Toph. Every single one of these is dead on the money. That's at least 8 for 8 for St. John again, maybe 9 for 9.
I think that's 9 by my unofficial count. Remember, he was 12 of 13 with 5 touchdowns against Trine back on homecoming for a career high 385 yards.
198 yards for him.
2nd and 2. St. John throws it backwards. That's Kruger. He can throw. He's going to swing it back to St. John. Caught at the 35. And look out, it's John Navarre. It's going to come back for a penalty. Cutting inside St. John all the way to the 5, and what a shame. The Scots obviously had that one drawn up. I know that this is a big day for Carter St. John, honoring his grandfather, a big-time Scots fan who would turn into our streams while dealing with cancer treatment, passed away after the Hope game last year. I think they wanted that one as an exclamation point. It was still pretty cool, though.
It was. And it was a very obvious hold, a big hold.
So Rademacher gets flagged, and Alma might just have to run it again. While we're talking about Carter, he was honoring his grandfather on one shoe, and then former Olivet basketball coach, also Alma College guard, Steve Ernst, also being honored here on the Cares game day on the other shoe. Ernst, who still is in the record books for assists for Alma College. St. John now on 2nd and 12, throws it out to the right. Frenchco caught in the flat and lunging
dragging
forward.
People. He got a first down.
I
think he did.
Rare to see Frenchco with that short of a catch. Only 11 or 12 yards. He was averaging almost 35 a grab coming into today.
Yeah, that's 10 for 10, up over 200 yards for Carter St. John.
They'll train up Poff and Frenchco on the right. Play action to Williams, all kinds of time.
Oh, my goodness.
St. John could write a book. Now he'll throw to the left and find Poff at the 13-yard line, races away down the sidelines, and it's a touchdown.
Give the offensive line so much credit. Oh my gracious. He had hours to throw the football.
No flags on that one. And Carter St. John now a flag.
Here's a flag late.
The flag comes on the celebration, but the touchdown will count.
I mean, he had forever.
He was literally just standing there.
Shows the great athleticism of Poff, too, to get open eventually.
What a bounce back from Zach Poff from the fumble to 3 catches on that drive and a touchdown. We'll find out what Kalamazoo wants to do with what is presumably an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, whether they want to extend the extra point or enforce it on the kickoff, and we'll find out right now.
After the touchdown, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 7. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Is number 7's first in that category.
So Poff celebrates just a little too much, and they'll enforce that on the kickoff. Hernandez on for the extra point. 32 of 34 on the year on these tries. Made his first 21 before 2 were blocked by Trine. Kruger puts the hold down. This one is not going to be blocked, and it is good. 22-0 Alma, 11:57 to play in the second quarter. We'll be back to Balke Field right after this. Hernandez boots it from his own 20 to the opposing 20. A leaping grab by Lucas Hannafan and a nice return out to the 45. That's where Kalamazoo will begin. 22-0 Alma as they score. Trine also scores again at Albion, now leading 21-7 there. Now remember, Trine almost upset Albion last year. A late interception saved that game for the Brits. But today at Albion, Trine off to a fabulous start, trying to avenge the loss 2 weeks ago against Alma. Saw the game go to halftime at 42-30, but then Alma add 28 more in the second half for a grand total of 70. Kalamazoo here trails 22-0. They've been able to move the ball in chunks, but never sustain a drive. Zach Poff's touchdown has put Alma out to a 3-score lead. Josh Nichols, quick play action, throw to the right sideline, scooped up by Hannafan and jammed out of bounds. Or sorry, that's Hool. Jammed out of bounds at the Alma 49. Now a 7-yard pickup. Kalamazoo trying to match Alma in the tempo department. Option deep toss. This is Brunette.
That's a huge hold over there.
Gets outside and tumbles out of bounds.
Somebody had the guts to call it, and it was not someone in position, but
came from deep now.
I mean, it was a massive hold.
Wait and see. So some risk that Burnett got hit a little late. It was not late enough that I would have expected a flag, but let's just wait and see. Because as you said, that flag did come from a strange spot. There you see the Scots defensive staff clapping.
There's no way. A little bit of discussion on it here.
Holding. Offense. 10 yards to the spot of foul.
Yeah.
So we'll see where they march this off from.
Kretschmar was getting turned around by his shoulder pads, and while trying to make the tackle, I couldn't believe that the judge on the side didn't call it.
Back to the Kalamazoo 43-yard line, 2nd and 11. So they'll hold a couple yards upfield based on the enforcement spot. Nichols drops. Pressure comes, gets the throw out of there, way overthrown.
They're going to call roughing the passer, though. Scott's racking up those personal foul penalties again.
And we've talked about that. Alma's
3 of
penalty
them now.
Numbers. 101 penalty yards per game coming in.
They're on pace to exceed that today.
This one will be a first down, assuming we've got her diagnosed right.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 49. 15 yards from
Underhill flagged on that one. Candela was in there with the pass pressure as well.
The pressure was heavy again.
So from the back 42 to the back 43 to the forward 42 for Kalamazoo. Pool wide to the left, 4 wide to the right. Empty backfield on first down for the Hornets. Now Brunette will motion back into the backfield and pick up an extra block. Nichols steps up in the pocket. He's going to run here. Cuts to his left at the 40. Now races to the 35. Slides down. Alma does a good job. Drew Hum makes a little bit of contact, but stays off enough to avoid a penalty.
Tell you with great certainty that there's no way Brunette was set for 1 second when he went in motion into the backfield there.
Well, I think because he's in motion and moving backwards,
he's okay.
He's the motion man. I think that was all right. Brunette now gets the carry on 2nd and 2, has the first down to the 29.
Had a little bit of room there briefly.
Brock Beaudry got the ankles.
Good drive here for the Hornets, though. Aided by the penalty.
Trio of receivers go right on first down. Nichols drops, throws it underneath. Brunette waiting for blocks to set up. Good progress down to the 22.
That one was well set up.
7-yard pickup. Kalamazoo marching here, trailing 22-0 with 10:22 to play in the second quarter, but their most steady drive of the day and their deepest progress into Alma territory.
Well, you know, Nichols, as a senior, has looked pretty calm. A big guy back there, 6'3", 200, so he can take the punishment.
Braden Lavis wide to the left. 2nd and 3. Nichols with time. Throws in a wheel route that went the other way. He was expecting a cut to the outside. And got turned up the field instead by Yankee. So 3rd and 3 on the incompletion.
Yeah, they definitely were not on the same page on that one. Long throw regardless, but
Ian Bird leads the MIAA in field goal kicking percentage, but Kalamazoo needs touchdowns, not field goals. 3rd down and 3. Nichols, quick drop, pressure comes and sacked. Mativa.
Well, that's the big man right there.
More of a run stopper usually, but he came flying through in the pass pressure, and the Midland Dow grad pushes Kalamazoo all the way back to the 29.
Very long field goal here.
After the sack, 4th down and 10 for Kalamazoo.
This is going to be a 46-yarder. A little bit down, Breeze.
Career long is 46, so he can do this. 5 of 6 on the season, 17 of 30 on his career. Gets a good boot into it. That's got enough leg, and he's got it. Kalamazoo on the board, 22-3, 9:22 to play in the second quarter. We'll be back.
Our score with 9 minutes, 22.
Burr comes on to kick it away as Kalamazoo has broken the Alma shutout with a 46, almost 47-yard field goal. It was good from probably 5 to 7 yards further. It got over those bike racks behind the south end zone. Little hop step in the delivery, and Burr booms this one all the way back to the 1-yard line. Cutting across the field is McNiff onto the kick return team, and he's tackled back at the 10. Burr also smart enough not to kick it to Zach Poff.
Would have been just me, but I think McNiff was putting his mouth guard in after he caught the ball.
Hold on.
I saw him put his hand up to the face mask there. But great kick coverage, frankly, from Kalamazoo there.
Alma starts at the 12. And he'll bring out Jordan Williams at running back. along with Webb and Thomas, so a double H-back alignment or two tight ends.
St. John's 11 of 11 for 249 and 2 scores thus far.
Respectable.
Kalamazoo's got to get that pass defense humming.
Thomas in motion. He'll become the third receiver to the left, and they throw out that way on a bubble screen to McNiff, who just returned the kick. Cuts outside of Thomas's block. Room along the sidelines. Big collision with the downs marker and a flag.
Cole, block a little too long?
Could be.
There,
that's the same official who threw the deep hold. Well, no, it's the same position, but they flip on the sides. But the deep official calling the flag, and it is probably on Thomas's block, I would agree.
I think probably, which will back the Scots up.
Not a lot of room to back up.
No, there's not.
Holding. Offense. Number 3.
Yep.
Half the distance to the goal. Repeat first down.
So Alma's going to go back to the 6.
Yeah, for Cole on that one, he's got to be able to see that the receiver McNiff has gone past him already and then disengaged from that block.
It's actually half the distance from the spot of the foul, so Alma goes back to the 9.
I think the block at the point of attack was actually okay initially.
1st and 13 for St. John. Gives it off to Jordan Williams, who has retreated to the 4, needs to get the corner, and he just dives forward, gets back within a yard of the line of scrimmage, but well strung out by Kalamazoo that time. Jackson Mitchell out of East Grand Rapids there first, along with Garrison.
Tackled by Gabe Olivier and Corey Garrison. No gain. 2nd and 13.
2nd and 13 from the 8. St. John throws from the 2. Quickly out to Jansen, caught at the 14. Stiff arm pushes forward to about the 19. And that'll set up a much shorter 3rd down attempt.
Yep, Scott's taking what was given to them there to make it 3rd and more manageable. See if they can find an open receiver, or if maybe Carter does this one with his feet.
3rd down and 4 for the Scots.
St. John 4 rushing touchdowns on the season. A little under 250 yards coming into today. Low snap, he is going to try to run for it. Across the 20, outside there, lunges and has the first down. Give him the 24 before all is said and done.
Yeah, about 12 yards now, maybe 13 on 3 carries for Carter. Webb back in as the tight end. Thomas stays at a wing.
Ronnie Spencer made that stop. First down, Alma from their own 23 with a 22-3 lead. McNiff short motion to the left, sets up a 2-receiver train. Now Thomas will head that way as well. St. John looks left. Lots of time now flushed. Going to tuck and cuts to the inside and gets hit pretty hard at the 26. Ends up at the 27. Good pursuit by the front 7 to stay home from Kalamazoo and not open up a lot of space there.
It's one of those deals where the receivers could not get open downfield. Wholesale changes at receiver now. Kruger, Poff, Frenchco all onto the field, which Kalamazoo probably doesn't love to see.
Blake Kelsey a little slow to get up for Kalamazoo on that play, but seems to be all right. Jordan Williams gets the carry on 2nd and 6. Steps to his right, now to his left. First down at the 35, out to the 38.
Gain of about 10, got hit up around the helmet.
Alma running very patiently today. We've seen that from multiple ball carriers as they move the chains with 6:50 to play in the half. Second first down of this drive. St. John rolling left, just drops it off to Webb, and Webb's going to try to barrel down the sideline, wrestled out of bounds by Lucas Gear. Lucas Gear, another one of these very, very bright Kalamazoo players, lists himself as a future astrobiologist. We've got a Kalamazoo player shaken up behind the play, and that's going to be Kelsey, who was dinged up beforehand. Kelsey, not a relative of the Kelsey on the back of Carter St. John's jersey, but I know that story. Todd Kelsey, a friend of Carter's from high school friend who ended up with a cancer diagnosis and has fought through that. And Carter told Todd that he was thinking about honoring him during this game, and Todd Kelsey's response was, well, only if you plan to throw for 6 touchdowns.
He's on his way.
So he's working on it. Todd might have to settle for now for an 11 start, 249 yards and 2 scores.
I think he's 12 for 12 now after that last one, too.
That's right. The stat hasn't updated yet, so.
The old internet is slowed again, but.
Second down and 4. Jordan Williams again trying to find space, and another patient run. They're going to spot him shy of the first down, say that knee dragged before he dove to the 49. So Elma's going to need a yard here on 3rd down. We'll see if they think about bringing in the short yardage package. They will not. They're going to go up tempo instead. St. John wants to throw for it. From the pocket, thrown out to the left, intercepted. Gear, the astrobiologist, picks that one off, and that's the end of the perfect day for Carter St. John and Alma's second turnover of this first half.
I'm not sure if he saw the linebacker or not there.
First interception of the year for Lucas Gear, a sophomore. And Kalamazoo hanging around here. It's a 19-point game. Alma not feeling threatened, but a couple of miscues that they're not going to feel great about, a couple of penalties they're not going to feel great about.
Yeah, the penalties especially.
Nichols on the day, back in quarterback for Kalamazoo, 10 of 17 for 75 yards and an interception. Calls for it. Quick play fake, now throws right and out of bounds. Spates had gone deep. That may have been a disguised throwaway.
Maybe so. I know there was the one on the last possession where he wasn't on the same page as his receiver, and it looked a little similar, but you might be right. It was just a designed throwaway.
Spates still looking for his first catch of the day. He's 2 away from 100 in his career. 98 career receptions coming into today. We'll see if Kalamazoo can get him the ball. 2nd down and 10 over the middle. Leaping grab by Hannafan down to the Scots 33. Good job by Lucas Hannafan to find the soft spot in the Scots coverage. And that'll move the sticks to for the Chelsea grad. Hannafan grabbed 4 or more in each of the first 5 games of the season for Kalamazoo. First down from the Alma 33. Bell, the third running back, goes across the 30 down near the 29.
Bell's got some power in his legs.
5'10", 190. He's actually the lightest of the 3, at least according to the roster, but he probably runs the biggest.
Yeah, the legs have got some power.
3 yards, 2nd down and 7.
2nd and 7. Alma going to shift a little bit defensively along the line. Nichols under pressure. Gets away, rolls to his left. Now he threw an interception in that situation earlier and will elect to just slide down, which probably denies Soffordini the sack that was coming.
Yeah. Sack will be credited to team instead.
Yep, you say Odin's going to need to talk to the stats person and say, hey, come on.
Nichols did a great job of avoiding 2 converging defenders.
You know, Nichols 6'3", 200. He's tough to bring down.
He really is.
3rd and 12. Rolling right, Nichols all the way back at his 45, tosses it on the run, caught right at the marker, and Hannafan slides up to get the first down at the 22. Second nice grab for Hannafan on this possession.
Yeah, he's finding some openings.
Came in 2nd in the conference in catches per game. Running right, Bell on first down, hit at the 20, gets a couple more before Jackson pounds him with a shoulder out of bounds. Good late.
Broke right through that first tackle, though.
Yeah, Jackson had to come and provide the help. Alma had not gotten him out of bounds yet. He needed the big man out of Grayling to finish it off. 2nd and 7. It's 22-3 Alma, but Kalamazoo with a chance to make this a little more interesting with 4 minutes to play in the second quarter. Nichols straightaway drop. How long will the pocket hold? Dancing to his right. A lot of Scots giving chase and a good throwaway well underneath of Clark. Now 3rd down. We know this is field goal range for Kalamazoo, but as we said before, they need touchdowns.
I think I'd kick one, though.
Get within 16?
Maybe not. Yeah.
It's close. Yeah.
Hard to say. Depends on what happens on this play right here, frankly.
Riley on all of these backs from Kalamazoo. Good pass catchers. Burnett had 7 catches. Riley 5. Bell 9 coming into today. 3rd and 7. Nichols straight drop. Wheel route down the sideline and overthrown in the corner of the end zone. Hum was step for step with Spates.
Would have been out of bounds had he caught it anyway.
And now 4th down in the field goal unit.
I think they needed to gain yardage there to avoid the field goal try.
Yeah, it's a big decision that's loaded into the 3rd down play call because you could try to run something short if you were planning on going for it on 4th.
Now, Nichols is the holder, so you never know.
That's true. Burr, who already connected from 46. And this time
no good wide left, but he kicked it a ton.
Just tugs it, though, and Kalamazoo comes away empty-handed. Burr wanted a flag. Not going to get any help there. So Alma gets the stop defensively. They, too, negate an interception, which Kalamazoo did earlier.
They need to put one in the end zone here. They just look a little discombobulated, which we wondered after coming off the big win over Hope. coming back home.
You feel like the Scots engine's running on 7 cylinders right now. It's just not quite as sharp. We saw, they looked great on the first 2 drives, and really since then.
They have had times that they've looked phenomenal.
Yeah, and the Poff touchdown as well. Really all 3 touchdown drives, excellent. Just the stuff in between hasn't been their best. Eddie Williams starts this drive with a carry to the left sideline and picks up about 6, a little tumbling spin at the end, and that might have gotten an extra yard. Mark him at the 26.
Williams has been good on the ground. The stats haven't updated in quite a long time, so I don't know. That was probably his 10th carry, which would give him 50 yards.
Eddie honoring Bobby Tillery today for the Cares game. St. John over the middle, high and dropped by Poff. It was a tough catch, and that might have been tipped by Garrison. If not, it was just Garrison in the line of sight of Poff, and Zach couldn't quite snag that one.
First misfire for St. John on the afternoon, and wasn't his fault, certainly.
Well, other than the interception.
Well, that's a fair point.
First ball not caught.
Yep.
Third and 4. Alma always wants to get that first down of a drive and avoid going 3 and out. Bubble screen out to Poff, caught back at the 24. Going to have to work for this one out to the 27, and needs the 30. Not going to get there. Gang tackled, and that will bring on Bryce Kemp, I believe.
About 3 minutes to go in the half.
And there's the punting unit.
Scott's offense wanted to go, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you could see Eddie Williams. I assume that's what that signal meant.
Brings up 4th down and 2 for Alma.
Spates deep to return. 7 returns for a 23.5-yard average, including a 65-yard touchdown last week against Adrian, so he is dangerous. Kempf may want to keep this away from him.
Jonas Spates back deep to receive.
Oops, flags.
The Scots didn't get that one lined up right.
And once again, penalties rear their ugly head. That will be flag number 5 for 45 yards.
Well, that's not.
Or not. Oh, wait. That was just an official standing with his hands on his hips.
Those stats are not right. The Scots have 3 personal foul penalties for 15 yards apiece.
Right.
So that's 45 right there.
Yeah, so unless they didn't count the yardage because it's applied on the kickoff of one of them,
it's still 15 yards.
Yeah.
The stats are just not correct right now. They're not working properly is the issue.
But definitely Alma heavily penalized again today, which has been the one real negative that they've struggled with this year. Kemp, good punt. A little bit of a wobbler. Spate's going to come up and take it on the run at the 42, but the Scots are there.
Yeah. Might not have wanted to field that one.
Well,
or fair catch.
Could have, yeah.
Jonas Spates on the return.
And Kalamazoo with a chance to get points here before the half. 2:04 to go in this first half. They trail 22-3, but have shown an ability to stop the Scots here.
They have, and they've made progress. I mean, they've progressed now into the red zone and close to the red zone on 2 possessions. They just have struggled to finish it off, which is interesting because they're a great red zone team. They're a 90% red zone team on the season, a better touchdown percentage than Alma has on the year. Little counter handoff. This is how they open the game, and this time Brunette's got a hole. First down yardage hit hard in the secondary by Kretschmar, but a nice pick up to the Alma 39.
Scots need to create a turnover here.
It's the rare game where Alma is not on the right side of the turnover battle. Fumble and an interception against Alma. Option play to the right. Deep pitch handcuffs Brunette a little bit, and he's going to lose yardage here.
It's a shame for him because he had the corner had he been able to catch it cleanly.
Yep, had to cut it inside instead and loses a yard back to the 40. It's like they may generously give him the 39. Clock running with 1:24 to play in the half. 22-3 Alma. Kalamazoo with all its timeouts left, so plenty of time to operate. 2nd and 10. Nelson shows blitz. Here comes the pressure. Well picked up. Thrown over the middle. Caught on a crossing route. And diving forward is Kiesling.
It's a great tackle by Jackson.
Yep, there's the timeout from Kalamazoo as Kiesling was a couple yards short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 3. Kalamazoo stops it with 1:05 to play in the half.
Alma tried to bring pressure, but quickly Nichols was able to get the ball out.
Kiesling, a bio major out of Berkeley.
3rd and 3.
So Kalamazoo does have to focus on picking up this first down here.
Yeah, I think they would probably take 2 cracks at it from the 32. That would make it about a 49-yard field goal.
Yeah, especially in a situation where you're down by 19.
Yeah,
I think that's the...
Burr's got the leg for 49, but I think you need to focus on picking this up, try to get 6.
If you're just joining us, Ian Burr 1 for 2 on field goal tries this year, but hit from nearly 47 and had plenty of clearance on it. Burnett will be the running back, along with Josh Nichols in the shotgun. 4 wide. They bring in Durbin, the tight end out of Whitehall, as one of the topside receivers. 3rd and 3. Nichols, straight drop, looking over the middle, thrown, and it's complete. Spates with his first catch. That's number 99 for his career, and Gage Nelson ties him up like at a rodeo and tosses him out of bounds. But it's a first down to the 21.
There was a lot of room around him when he caught that football.
Kalamazoo doing a pretty good job, and Nichols is not afraid to stay in that pocket with a lot of people around him. From the 21, Nichols now will step up. Does he want to run? No, he throws late towards the sideline, taken out of bounds, but down to the 7-yard line for Hannafan. That was close.
Very close to being across the line of scrimmage there.
Remember, if any part of your body is still behind the line of scrimmage, you're fine.
I think his right leg was still back there.
1st and goal, Kalamazoo, with 40 seconds left in the half, trying to narrow this 22-3 Alma lead. Twin receivers to both sides. Nichols drops, sets his feet, throws out on the sideline. Hannafan reaches for the goal line. Did he get there? No. Down at the 1. Hannafan having himself a game here.
A lot of very wide open players, though.
Timeout. Kalamazoo stops it with 31 seconds, and they're going to be on the 1-yard line. A chance for Alma's defense to do something heroic. We've seen them do that plenty of times over the last year and a half. But if not, this is going to become a 2-score game heading into halftime.
Yeah, exactly.
And one thing that, Alma's got to remember, maybe not got to remember, but that might be on their mind, is that they're not only playing for wins and a conference title and so forth, but if everything goes well the rest of the year, they're potentially playing for seed consideration in the postseason.
Sure.
That their goal is not just to win the game, but to win it impressively.
Please put 32 seconds.
32 seconds, so they're going to add 8/10 is all. But, if Kalamazoo scores right here, Alma will still get the ball back with 3 timeouts remaining. And with as quickly as this offense can strike, I wouldn't mark it down just yet that they wouldn't go for it.
We saw it in a 41-second situation last night in our high school game with Big Rapids scoring to extend its lead against Alma. 2nd down and goal from the 1. Burnett along with Nichols. 2 touchdowns last week. Not going to get one here.
Close.
Backwards, big time. Hunter Sanderson and Jackson make that stop, and Kalamazoo forced to use its 3rd timeout in a much different-looking 3rd and goal all the way back at the 4.
Yeah. The Scots shot every gap with a run blitz that time. They just sold out that Kalamazoo was going to run the football.
And now the fact that Hannafan was marked down at the 1 looks so much bigger because he reached that ball across the goal line. But, 15 years ago, that play gets called a touchdown. And then as people started to watch replays, they realized that when you dive forward, your knee hits long before you reach that ball out, and it correctly gets called further back. And I suspect that was right here.
Yeah, probably so.
15 years ago, that's a touchdown for Hannafan, and Kalamazoo is not looking at this 3rd down.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you right there.
3rd and goal from the 4-yard line, 26.4 seconds remaining. Nichols comes up. Quick discussion with his offensive line. Twin receivers to both sides, including the tight end, Durbin. 3rd down and goal. Nichols, the senior, sits in the pocket under pressure. Throws tipped up high in the air. Everybody dives for it. Who got there? The Scots did.
Kretschmar.
Jack Kretschmar ends the threat, and we said, how many times have the Scots slammed the door, and they do it again?
Heavy pressure. Ball deflected into the air, and Kretschmar dove down onto the ground for it at the 2-yard line. And with 19 seconds to go, the Scots with 98 yards of turf in front of them.
That will change the tenor of the halftime locker room considerably. The 18th interception of the year for Alma and 28th overall turnover. And if you're doing the math, this is game 7, so that is 4 turnovers per game.
See what the Scots are going to do here. You can't take a knee.
Yeah, they'll bring in the short yardage package, as they have often done in this situation. Go with Rife to try to get them out of the shadow of the goal line. J.B. Couch comes out of the huddle early to get set over the football. Now the Scots rush out. Rife in his end zone, waits, runs to the left, and now he's got some space out to the 10. Tackled at the 12. Will Alma stop this? Probably not at your own 10-yard line. I think you go to halftime, don't you? The recruits think so.
Yeah. And they will.
Yeah. Alma says good enough. They'll be pleased with the goal line stop on the interception. Take a 19-point lead to the break. We will take that break along with them. We'll be back with the Pizza One halftime report. A few commercials, then we'll have the Kilty Marching Band for you here live. And you can listen on the radio or watch the video at almascots.com. Then back with halftime stats, scores from around the MIAA, and more. Alma at the half on top of Kalamazoo, 22-3. Back here at Alma College, And it is halftime as the Kilty Marching Band is getting ready to take the field. 16:30 on the halftime clock if you need to go grab a snack. But join us here for the first part of the Pizza One halftime report. Alma leading Kalamazoo 22-3. They get a couple of key stops in the second quarter. After allowing the 46-yard field goal, they force another field goal try that was no good, and then the Lake Kretschmar interception on the tip pass after Kalamazoo had its second and goal inside the 1-yard line, and they come away empty-handed, helping Alma maintain this lead at the break. We don't have a lot for you in terms of halftime stats, as unfortunately the live stats have hung midway through the second quarter and are continuing to update now during halftime. So hopefully by the end of halftime we will have up-to-date stats, as they are literally catching up as I watch. That part of that, I think, is probably because Nick Nemeth, our sports information director, who does so many amazing things, is filling in on PA today, and I think he's probably helping out now that he doesn't have to be on a microphone, and so we'll get that caught up for you. I can tell you about a couple of MIAA scores, though, one of which is of great interest to Alma, and that is the Trine Albion score, which is 28-14 Trine at the latest update late in the second quarter at Albion. Remember, Albion 5-1 overall on the season, 1-1 in MIAA play, but in a position that they could still be looking at a three-way league tie at the end of the year if they were to win out. If Trine was to drop them today, Alma would then be in a position that if they won through week 9, that Albion as the other opponent would have a second loss, and Alma would potentially be in pretty good shape league standing wise. So Alma rooting for Trine in that one, but we shall wait and see where that goes. The Kilty Marching Band now is ready to go. We'll turn it over to them for your halftime entertainment.
Please put your hands together for the 101st edition of the Kilty Marching Band as they present to you their 2023 production, Join Together, music of The Who.
is your 2023 Alma College Kilty.
Another phenomenal performance from the Kilty Marching Band here at the Alma Cares game. Alma and Kalamazoo honoring cancer survivors, people who have lost their life to cancer, fundraising for the Angel Wings Foundation. And a fun first half, 22-3. Alma scored on its first play from scrimmage, an 85-yard touchdown pass to Devin Frenchko, and took off from there, eventually leading 22-0. Kalamazoo added a field goal and twice then drove deep into Alma territory, but came away with a missed field goal try, and then Alma an interception after Trine had looked briefly at second and goal from the 1-yard line. So a situation where Kalamazoo probably feeling like they could be a lot closer in this game than they are. Alma with a few miscues along the way. As we said, we're still waiting for some of the live stats to catch up, but an incredible start to the game for Carter St. John, connecting on his first 12 attempts prior to an interception. Alma picks off 2 more passes. That puts him at 18 on the year, 28 turnovers overall, but did turn it over twice themselves. That will be a little bit of a source of a concern. But on the whole, pretty good start. Alma will get the ball to start the second half and have a 19-point lead to work with.
Yeah, exactly. The 19-point lead to work with, get the ball to start the second half. All is well, frankly. The defense has played well. Some bent at times, but did not really break at all. The big interception by Kretschmar to end the half at the goal line to keep this thing a very comfortable advantage for the Scots, certainly. I think the first possession of the second half will be key. I don't think it was probably a happy locker room. I really don't.
A lot better than it would have been without that interception.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But I think there are things that they will not be terribly happy with, such as some untimely penalties for a lot of yardage, the big personal foul penalties. To a point, they don't mind those because a lot of them are effort plays and extra effort plays. But when they just start to pile up like they are, eventually you've got to kind of rein it in a little bit. And, frankly, it killed a couple of drives, too.
Yeah.
So
it kind of like what we said in the pregame is that when you do that, you're playing with fire. That sooner or later that's going to happen in a game where you don't have a margin for error, which it started to look like in that late in that first half could be today.
Sure.
Before Alma slammed the door the way that it did. Couple of out-of-town score updates. Hope on top of Olivet, 10-0 now as they look to bounce back from the 35-17 loss at home against Elmo last week. Trine continues to lead Albion. That's a halftime score now. Trine up 28-14. As I was frankly not very articulately explaining beforehand, an Albion loss puts them in a tough spot because they can't get into a tie for the lead by beating Alma in the last week. And it would leave Alma in a spot that they could theoretically clinch the league title with a win today and then wins against Olivet and Adrian, regardless of what happened in Week 10 at Albion. That's a much better description than the gobbledygook that I was trying to get in before the band came out. But, a scenario that we'll see what Albion does because they were in trouble against Trine for a little while last year, came back and won that game. Albion obviously didn't put up much offensively against Hope 2 weeks ago. They're coming off a bye today, but that game against Hope was in just dreadful conditions. So hard to fault Luke Lovell and his other offensive weapons, Philip Jones-Price, for only hitting single digits in the
And
slot.
honestly, Toph, that game might be being played in dreadful conditions today. I'm not sure because that line of storms is to the west of us and the south of us, which is kind of where Albion lies.
Yeah, that's a good
frankly.
point. I mean, as we look to the southwest,
it's dark.
It does not appear that the weather is really that far off. We remain dry here. And the forecast as of kickoff time was that the biggest rain risk was right around 1 o'clock, but it appears that we are continuing to hope that shower line stays right where it is. We'll be back here next week for the Scots and Albion. We may have a game.
Well, we got the Scots and Olivet next week.
Sorry, thank you. Yes. Olivet will be here next week. We'll cover whoever shows up, but we anticipate that being Olivet. We may have a playoff game for you in high school football on Friday night. That, of course, depends on schedules and things. MHSA will announce those playoff pairings tomorrow. We expect that Ithaca will have a home game and likely play that on Friday night, but you don't know for sure. They actually played their first-round playoff game on Saturday last year, though that was against Lake City, a team from a little further away.
Yeah, I suppose there would be one scenario only where Ithaca would not have a playoff game, and that would be if they were put into a district with both New Lothrop and Ubly. But I don't think the geography lines up for that to be
You'd
possible.
have to draw quite an interesting circle for that to all be the same
would.
district. But that is interesting that if Ithaca draws a grouping that includes teams to the east, they could find themselves on the road in week 2 against a New Lothrop team that beat Lake Fenton last night. Of course, Ithaca 49-0 shutout winner against Shepherd to cap off another undefeated regular season. But they will have a playoff points edge over just about anybody else locally. That would put them at Ithaca Community Stadium for at least the first couple of weeks of the postseason. Of course, Fowler a potential postseason threat now that Ithaca has dropped at least this year to Division 8. Beale City also possible. Beale City a surprising loser last night on the road against Harbor Beach. Did not see that one coming. Harbor Beach always a strong program.
Trip. Long trip for Beale City.
Yeah. It's a Harbor Beach program that tested Breckenridge in a semifinal down at Chesaning back in 2018. But a surprise winner to me, at least, against Beale City.
I would agree with that.
Last night.
Be interested to see if the Scots can get him to kick the ball to Poff here, as he has been fabulous.
We've managed to talk through the last break at the end of the Pizza One halftime report, but we'll get that for you soon enough, I imagine.
We are, there were plenty of breaks in that first half, so.
Burr will come on and kick it away.
Do certainly encourage everyone to come on down to Pizza One on Wednesday nights from 7 to 8 for the Alma Coaches Show. We're on the air from 7:15 to about 7:45, depending on how much we want to talk. The goal is to be 7:45 done by then, but sometimes, with the number of points the Scots put up, we've got more to talk about.
Hey,
so.
if the pizza is hot and the company's good, you stay as long as you need to.
Exactly. Something to watch here. Hunter Sanderson very late out of the locker room for the Scots, just arriving to the sidelines now.
Appears to be moving just fine, carrying his helmet and so forth, so don't know 100% what the story is there. Burr will get ready to boot it. Poff and McNiff back deep. Interesting that the Scots have taken Frenchco off the kick return team this week, despite averaging around 30 and a half yards per return.
He's been on and off, yep.
Poff, of course, deadly in the kick return action this year with 2 touchdowns of 88 and 94
officiating
yards.
crew wasn't quite ready.
Everybody's still getting set up. The back judge tells Burr, hold up a second.
Referee was way down in the south side.
Wrong end. Poff and McNiff will be looking dead into the sun, which is bright
it's bright
at the moment.
right now, yeah.
Has been behind the clouds on and off much of the day, but it is bright at this very instant. As the loping steps of Burr booted away,
Not going to matter.
McNiff will just say no thanks.
It's about 7 or 8 yards deep into the end zone.
That is a strong leg on the Tennessee product, Ian Burr. So Alma back out. Carter St. John hit on his first 12 passes, well over 200 yards, couple of touchdowns in that first half.
Yeah, we would like to have good, accurate stats for you, but the live stats are just not quite working today. They tried to catch them up at halftime, but they are stalled out again.
Yep, 9:17 in the second quarter. We can tell you what was going on then.
Yes, very well we could.
Eddie Williams, Carter St. John in the backfield. Trips to the left, Frenchco alone on the right. Remember, he went 85 yards on the first play of the game. This one starts at the 25-yard line. St. John throws underneath to Frenchco, cuts inside at the 30. They grab him by the jersey, which spins him all around, and he stays right there and eventually gets pushed out of bounds. About a 4-yard pickup when all is said and done.
Ended up in a big pile of bodies.
If you're listening to the PA, they are using the names being honored by the players out here. So that was Todd Kelsey's pass complete to Aunt Didi in the form of St. John to Frenchco. Eddie Williams now on 2nd and 6, and he's got a first down and then some along the far sideline. Cuts in at the 45, crosses midfield to the Kalamazoo 49.
Gain of about 22, 23 yards for Williams. He's got the rushing yardage going up again.
Scott's wearing special jerseys today for this Alma Cares game. Into the middle with Eddie Williams this time, only 2 yards to the Kalamazoo 48. 22-3, Alma with the lead. They scored the first 22 of this game. Burr added a field goal for Kalamazoo. Cardis with the tackle. We haven't called Adam Stapleton's name too much today. But he had a great game last week with 17 tackles, the reigning defensive player of the week in the MIAA. St. John flushed out of the pocket, but stays behind the line of scrimmage, throws it laterally, caught by Kruger with all kinds of space along the sideline. Wow,
nice move.
Step at the 38 and finds 4 more yards.
What a throw that was by Carter St. John. He might not get credit for a completion on it, frankly, because it may have gone backwards.
Might have been a run. That's like in Tetris where you have to bring the piece all the way to the bottom and then slide it sideways. That's what Kruger did to add those extra 4 yards. Eddie Williams, as the Scots keep the tempo high. 5 more down to the 28. 13:20 to play, third quarter, 22-3. Alma with the advantage here. Now they'll pause for a moment to sub the receivers, also give Eddie Williams a breather, bring Jordan, the freshman, in instead. Not related, but both Detroit area products. Eddie Williams from Fraser High School in East Point, the hometown. Livonia Clarenceville for Jordan Williams. Jordan gets it here on 2nd and 5, cuts to his right. He's got a first down to about the 21. Flag behind the play, though, and this one's going to head the other direction.
Yeah, they're going to get a hold in there.
Flag late thrown by the referee.
It's going to be Przlowski, I think.
We'll know momentarily.
Well, he's got the hands on the jersey, as though that was on me.
Wait, me? No. Sometimes the player who does that is right, but referee's microphone not turned on, so it shall remain a mystery.
It shall. There he goes, first down.
Nico can continue to maintain his innocence.
Absolutely. It makes it 2nd and about 13.
First down markers at the 23-yard line. St. John stands at his own 41 to take the shotgun snap. They'll try. Jordan Williams again breaks a tackle and now just surges forward.
Did you see
a big block
the block from Broderick Miller? Right. Miller looked like a missile coming through there.
I honestly, when I saw how fast he was moving, I was trying to figure out whether I was tracking the wrong person for having the ball.
Now he's also uncovered currently.
It is a first down. Jordan Williams again, outside of the right cutback lane is not there, and Kalamazoo with 5 tacklers in the neighborhood, led by Gear.
They were trying to rip that ball out, too.
They certainly were.
Again, a little slow getting up from one of the Kalamazoo players.
No gain on the play, brings up 2nd down and 10.
No gain, 2nd and 10. I'm a little bit confused about what they want for receiving personnel. A little bit of a mix and match of the personnel packages.
Kelsey that went off again, by the way. He's been up and down a few times.
Blake out of Spring Lake High School. Yep, just something bugging him. Carter St. John rolls to his right, throws on the run, wheel route. Miller caught inside the 5 and out of bounds at the 3.
Miller's having a game.
Miller, caught the 2-point conversion on the first touchdown and has been all over the place. First a great block, now rewarded with a catch.
First and goal for the Scots.
St. John thrown out to the sideline, another catch.
Miller,
pushing forward,
touchdown.
Miller's got a touchdown.
Have a game, Broderick Miller. My goodness.
About that.
Another celebration penalty, and
What's the uh-oh?
It's going to be an unsportsmanlike on Poff, I think.
Oh, if that is a Poff unsportsmanlike, that is his 2nd of the game, which will end his day. We'll see. We'll wait on that one. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
No, we don't want to, but he came out holding his hands up. And
definitely looks frustrated at the moment. Can't do that after you get one.
You sure can't.
Nonetheless, 28-3, Alma. Here's the announcement.
Personal foul. Offense.
Oh, the Scots will take that. The Scots will take that and run.
Here's why that matters. It's a personal foul and not an unsportsmanlike, which means it does not cost Poff the game. Penalties end up offsetting. And Hernandez will just get to try the extra point from the normal spot. Broderick Miller, a 6-foot, 185-pound junior out of St. John's. As Hernandez PAT is good. 29-3 Alma, 11:31 to play in the third quarter. We'll be back after this. 3 touchdown passes for Carter St. John. I don't know if that means that he now doesn't have to get his sister a birthday present. Sister Hadley, turning 13 today, made the trip up from Zionsville, Greater Indianapolis, to watch the game. Happy birthday to her. And brother opened with 12 straight completions and now 3 touchdowns. But as you said, Broderick Miller having himself a day, stepping into a much bigger receiver role this afternoon. Hernandez boots it. Hannafan going to get yet another chance from almost the exact same spot as every other time.
Hannafan's been great.
Spins out of a tackle at the 25, keeps his feet now, heads towards the far sideline. Flag down behind this one, and then the ball comes loose as he's tackled along the sideline.
Hannafan worked very hard for a return that is going to look like it was not very good. He's just been fabulous, though, I think.
Yeah, very talented player, and you understand now how he scored 5 touchdowns in the state finals for Chelsea when the Bulldogs knocked off Unity Christian in that 55-52 thriller a couple years ago. Now they're going to wave this one off.
All right, well.
So it counts.
Counts. It's still maybe not as much as he would have liked to have gotten out of it, but
nonetheless, the escape act, the Houdini at the 20-yard line, got him to the 30. So
it did. Pretty nice.
Jonas Bates still looking for catch number 100 on his career. Started the day with 98, has 1 today by my very unofficial count. Alma sends the defense out. In case you were wondering, Sanderson does get the defensive start in the second half, so to the extent that there was any concern from his late appearance, it appears to have been alleviated. Alma did take 3.5 minutes off the clock on their offensive drive. Anthony Spears steps up in coverage against the duo of receivers to the right for Kalamazoo. Play action fake, thrown over the middle. Diving try by Hannafan, who scraped it into his body on the ground. But that one's not going to count, but almost.
Kretschmar draped all over him. The ball was skipping off the turf, but still somehow came up with it.
A little too much of the little black pellets flying up in the air to sell that one as a catch. Massive shifting now from Kalamazoo. Everybody moves. Musical chairs out there on 2nd and 10. Riley to the left. Big hole. First down to the 40, the 45. Shoved out of bounds by Fredenberg, who had the interception last week. This time a big tackle, but a nice gain for Riley into Alma territory.
Fabulous job by the sophomore Alamusa Assad on that left side. Took his defender 10 to 11 yards upfield.
Another big shift. Offensive linemen moving, receivers moving. Riley moves to the left side of the shotgun. Next to Nichols. Quick little wide receiver screen out to Kiesling, trying to find his way through traffic, and nothing there. Couple of yard pickup.
That's good defensive coverage by the Scots on that one.
Kiesling, a quarterback in high school at Berkeley. The Berkeley down in the Detroit area. Second down and 8, Kalamazoo. They trail 29-3 here. Kalamazoo last knocked Alma off in 2019, a year that they went 7-3 for Coach Zorbo. Thrown, and there's Spates with his 100th career grab, and it's going to go for a first down just inside the 39.
100 grabs in a career is a pretty nice accomplishment at the NCAA level.
Two-sport star back in high school at Forest Hills Central, the Rangers, over in the Grand Rapids area. 4-time Dean's Lister at Kalamazoo as well.
That's also a heck of an accomplishment.
Indeed. At Kalamazoo especially. Thrown over the middle, tipped up, and knocked away from Nate Clark.
Bit of a scary one there for Nichols.
Complete second down.
Nichols ended up 16 of 27 in that first half for 143 yards, but it was the 2 interceptions that really ended up costing him.
He attempts plenty of passes, 52 attempts against Olivet a couple of weeks ago. Riley into the middle, finds a couple of yards.
Soffredini was there from the backside right away. Be 3rd and long, probably 4-down territory here for Kalamazoo, though.
Down by 26, I think it has to be.
Ball rests at the 37.
Alma brings in a completely different defensive package. Meanwhile, Kalamazoo will move Spates up to the top side of the field along with Kiesling and Hannafan. Riley, the running back here on 3rd and 8. Hannafan motion, fake the jet sweep, Nichols rolls left, has to spin his body to throw and just can't get enough on it.
Heavy pressure. Sanderson, Soffordini, Roberson.
Yeah. When all three of those guys are chasing you and you've got the wrong shoulder turned forward, it's awfully difficult to get turned and throw it up the field.
Carson Gray was out there as well. Robertson's everywhere, though. He's having one of the biggest seasons of a defensive end that I can remember.
4 sacks, 14 tackles, and a fumble recovery prior to today.
I would like to know his number of quarterback hurries and quarterback hits.
Yes. 2 sacks last week in the big Alma win against Hope. 9:09 to go in the third. 4th down, Kalamazoo will go for it. Looking over the middle, Nichols under pressure from Robertson again, nearly held. Running for it, Nichols going to try to find his way to the marker.
Big hit. He got it.
Marlad
What a play.
Came up, and the second effort may do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Sanderson says he's short, and he is.
The initial
my goodness
hit was short. The concern
he might have gone out of bounds.
Exactly, the sideline.
What an effort by Nichols, though.
So Alma gets the stop on downs, but barely, not for a lack of trying from Josh Nichols.
That was a heck of an effort, but a big stop for the Scots. Amazing that he got away from Robertson.
Nichols came in 44th in the country in total offense because of what he can also do with his feet. And almost converted 4th and 8 right there. Instead, Alma will get back at it with a 29-3 lead. Alma a bit below its scoring average on the year of 55.5 per game. Cole Thomas in motion. There's plenty of time. You are correct. Eddie Williams, delay run to the right, tumbles through a small opening for a couple. Cole Thomas held that block as long as he could.
Tripped up by Tommy Cardis.
And Tommy Cardis on the stop. Cardis leads the team in tackles, also has a couple of fumble recoveries.
Scots have got Braden Sullivan in there. They're very excited about his potential future here.
Sullivan out of Standish Sterling. That's a high top end set of wheels. As Williams runs left, leaves the ball behind though, loose on the field. Everybody diving in there for it. Kalamazoo had 2 clear shots at it and missed. And now we'll see who wins the wrestling match at the bottom. Eddie was still moving upfield and the ball was not there. Elma's got it back.
Very fortunate from the Scots.
That's been a big story this year, as Alma has coughed it up a number of times but gotten it back.
Maddox Moselle got down there on it. 3rd and long for the Scots here, though.
1 lost fumble today. 2 turnovers from both teams. 3rd down and 9 now for Alma. St. John, play action, straight drop, protection now breaks down, steps up. He's going to have to run with this. He's across the line of scrimmage, gets hit hard out at the 38.
Short of the marker.
Yep. Full 1.5 yards short. Probably a punt situation this deep in your own territory, and on comes Kempf. Kemp taking over the punting duties from Caleb Kinsvatter from Traverse City St. Francis. Of course, perennial powerhouse, a couple of trips to the state finals for Bryce Kemp. Just past the midpoint of the 3rd quarter here, 29-3 Alma, no pressure on Kemp. He delivers a short punt, not returnable, over along the sideline and bounces. Wow, a one-handed grab. Oh, then he dropped it. Coach Ryan Ettinger tried to palm that one and then just sort of turned it into what looked like a semi-spike.
That was, punt just kind of almost popped it up, or?
That clearly didn't quite get it cleanly, but on the other hand, kept it away from the dangerous space, yes.
Turns out just fine.
Selected Dr. Stuart Jensen because he embodies the ethos of our team. He is completely invested into every single student, puts his heart into all that he does. His integrity and tenacity.
Scott's announcing the faculty coach of the day, Dr. Stuart Jensen from the physics department, who is one very, very smart dude. Obviously, he said embodies the ethos of the team, something great to hear. Scott's honor at least one, sometimes multiple faculty members per week. John Brunette opens the Kalamazoo possession with a 3-yard carry out to the 38. Just under 7 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Kalamazoo stuck on just a field goal, though they have moved the ball. 4 wide, Brunette to the right of Nichols in the gun. Play action, quick throw dropped off to the tight end. And a pickup out to the 43 there.
Be third down and short, third and a yard.
Durbin has picked up a couple of catches in situations like that today. He'll, of course, be curious to see where Whitehall gets slotted into the Division IV playoffs tomorrow. Third down and 1. Burnett goes backwards. He had it if he wanted it. He may have pushed forward anyway.
He's not getting a good mark at all.
He's going to be a yard short. Thought he saw a bigger opening and stepped backwards, and then that opening did not materialize. And it's going to force Kalamazoo into 4th and 1.
Got him. They're going to go for it.
They were 5 of 9 on 4th down coming into today. Almost picked up the one on the previous possession. They will go here, though, down 29-3. Set up for a quarterback sneak.
He's offsides twice.
Yeah, moving too soon and flags.
I also don't think he got it, but he was offsides twice.
Well, if that's the case, Kalamazoo will be rescued by a dead ball foul. Yeah. Ref's mic is open, but it's going to be a false start on the quarterback,
which we saw from up here for sure.
That means one of two things, either that Nichols forgot the snap count or that the center didn't quite snap it fast enough, because Nichols was trying to move forward, expecting the ball, and didn't have it.
Yeah, he went 2 or 3 times before he actually went forward. He was trying to go forward, and this is going to force a punt now.
Joe Debsky's had the easiest job in the house today.
He's had decisions to make, though, tough ones.
Watch the punt and point at it, as Burr has kept it away from him, and wisely so. Debsky, number 2 in the conference in punt return yardage. This one again short. Debsky with the point, stays out of the way. He'll chase it down just in case. He's unfortunately just going to watch it roll all the way to the 7-yard line.
If he wants to field one of those, he's almost got to go up 7 to 8 yards from where he's been lining up. And at that point, you worry that he's going to blast it right over your head.
Exactly. Burr with a long this season of 55, but a career long of 69, and you can understand with that style of kick, if you get it on the ground.
Scott's with more rough field position back here at the 7. The Scots' average starting field position has not been good today.
No, and a lot of that credit is to Burr, who only had 6 of 30 punts inside the 20 coming into today, but he's been a master this afternoon. 29-3 Alma, a little over 5.5 to play in the third quarter. Carter St. John scoops up a low snap from the 2-yard line and finds a big hole with Jordan Williams out to the 19.
Good burst from Jordan Williams. He's having a nice game so far. Williams, 6 carries, 31 yards. Add in about 12 more there.
First down, play action, St. John, all kinds of time, but nobody to throw to. Sidestepping to his left, now lobs it into a lot of traffic, and good work by McNiff to play defensive back there and knock it away from Gabe Myers. Otherwise, that would have been the 4th interception of the year by Gabe Myers.
18-20 for St. John, 310 yards, the 3 touchdowns to go with the 1 INT.
Yeah, that'll just be is that the third
incompletion?
Yep.
So he's 18 of 21 now.
Live stats are catching up for us. If you're listening at home and want to follow those along, you'll be able to see some accurate information.
Well,
accurate-ish.
Closer.
Webb in motion on 2nd and 10. Quick throw to Frenchco out to the left. Cuts outside at the 25, spun out there. And he'll be about 4 yards short of a first down. 4th catch for Frenchco on the day, over 100 yards with a touchdown.
Scott's been having a little bit of trouble getting the passing game downfield since early on.
Now, they hit the homer on the first play of the game, and they also
had a long one to Webb.
Also the pass to Poff for the touchdown, where St. John had so much time. St. John now on 3rd and 4, going to try to run for it. This one's not going to work. Well strung out. Another tackle by Garrison, who's had an excellent day defensively for Kalamazoo.
That's back-to-back possessions for the Scots without creating a first down, and that is very, very unlike Alma.
Yeah, they don't like that. 8th tackle of the day for Garrison. That is one of their key stats that offensive coordinator Zach Riepma wants, is to pick up that first down. They want about 4.5 yards per carry on the ground.
Should get pretty good field position here, should Kalamazoo, as Kemp's punting right into the wind.
Certainly hung up Kemp's last effort. Again, plenty of time. This one driving considerably better, and Spates will have a chance from the 35. Fair caught it and then lightly hit. The flag flies.
Yep, you just can't do it.
Alma quickly recognized, whoa, wait, can't do that with Ryan West. Yep. He wisely did not bring him down, but the penalty is the same either way. Just missed the fair catch signal from Spates. That'll mean good field position again for Kalamazoo, and Alma will feel very fortunate to be up 29-3 in this game.
Yeah, I think so too. It's really turned out to be a beautiful day at Balke Field. The weather forecast called for cloudy skies and rain showers, and
it's not been a nice day 15 miles from here.
It might not have been nice in Ithaca today, but it's been sunny here for the vast majority of the game, and beautiful conditions. Long conversation over this penalty.
Run through a few more Alma stats. Eddie Williams leading the way for Alma on the ground with 78 yards. Jordan Williams 30 yards on 6 carries. And then Reif with the rushing touchdown.
An extremely long conversation.
Yeah, you're not
5 officials all together here.
Still 28-14, Trine leading Albion. That game now down to 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. We've got a little under 4 minutes to play in the third here, and let's find out.
What the referee has to say.
After the fair catch, personal foul, late hit, kicking team, 15 yards added to the end of the kick. Automatic first.
All that for just what we thought it was.
That's like a show that hypes up a big cliffhanger and then does exactly what it looked like was going to
I wonder if they had to discuss whether they actually wanted to call the penalty or not, because West realized very quickly that there was a fair catch, but technically he sort of hit him.
Yeah, I think
he didn't bring him down or anything like that, but I think you have to call it.
I think so too. But I do understand the idea. You know, as you said, West slammed on the brakes just a little too late. Sometimes you hit the brakes and still run the stop sign. So first down at the 49 for Kalamazoo.
Kalamazoo has definitely had better field position than the Scots today.
They rotate back to Bell at running back. He'll get it on a counter going left. Finds a little hole up the middle, drags Oswald forward, still dragging. You talked about that leg strength earlier. Now gets a push, and look at the pile move all the way to the 38.
Alma won't be happy with that.
No, they don't. They will not enjoy seeing another team playing effectively stronger than them in the scrum. Bell about doubles his yardage on the day with that pickup. And they'll run the counter, but he doesn't pick up the handoff, and then he stumbles, and this is scooped up by Oswald for the Scots, their third turnover of the day.
Oswald just tripped, or else he might have gone. He had a convoy.
They ran the counter to the right. Bell fumbled it. He knew it, tried to turn, and right as he did, somebody hit his ankles, and he fell and could not reach the ball. Oswald grabs it instead. And the Beale City native
was one missed step away from maybe going. I honestly, I thought Oswald would just fall on it, but he bent over, scooped that sucker up, and was going.
Ready to move. Alma takes over at the Kalamazoo 48 with 3:12 to play in the quarter. Alma still going into the win for the next 3 minutes. St. John wants the homer. It's Frenchco. This one's underthrown. Devin tries to come back to it, makes the catch along the sidelines. If Carter got a little more on that, it could have been a touchdown, but it's a big gain instead, down to the 13.
Exactly what you do off of a turnover, though. Go deep.
Myers doing his best in coverage against Frenchco, but it's a battle you can only win for so long.
Frankly, I think he would have been called for pass interference had Frenchco not caught that.
Possibly. Wasn't looking back for the ball, so Frenchco and Poff now trained up on the left side of the Scots formation. First down from the 13. Eddie Williams has to make a move in the backfield and is not going to get away. And that's Blake Kelsey, who has battled injuries all day.
Late hit down there, almost drew a flag.
Third tackle for loss for Kelsey this season. So was forced to fumble and recovered one.
Yeah, Kelsey's been in and out like crazy.
Second down and 12 off the loss. St. John off a fake, rolls right, lobs it into the corner of the end zone. Poff elevates, makes the catch, and it's an Alma touchdown. Zach Poff, second of the day.
Great throw, even better catch. Fourth touchdown toss of the afternoon for Carter St. John, and the Scots are in control.
35-3 off St. John's toss, and just a leap from Poff. And defensive back was just trying to guess when the ball was going to arrive.
Now that's the 6th catch for Poff. He's dangerous.
Poff on the year, that makes 21 catches and 7 touchdowns, plus 2 in the kick return game for the transfer from Hope, who went to high school right up the road in Ithaca. Hernandez PAT is through. 36-3 Alma. We'll pause, come back. Last 2 minutes of the third quarter when we return. Zach Poff with his second touchdown of the day, 36-3 Alma. We talk about Carter St. John accounting for a touchdown in every collegiate game that he's played. Zach Poff has done that here. 7 for 7 now.
That's pretty impressive as a receiver / kick returner.
Has used the special teams to help with that, but not too shabby.
That's going to be a tough one, stat to keep up.
Yes, agreed. Ed Markarian on to kick it away for Alma. And a line drive. This will be the first kickoff not taken by Hannafan. Returned up over along the left side by Sam Hughes.
I wonder if that was kind of what they were looking for, was the shorter kick from Markarian. The Hannafan's been really good.
Yeah. Don't think they will feel bad about kicking it to someone else, that's for sure. 36-3, and we'll see whether...
I think Eichelbohr is a little shaken up after that one over there.
Does look like the Scots will start rotating some new personnel in. Carter St. John done for the day with the blue play calling penny on. So when Alma gets the ball back.
Get Devereaux in there.
Expect we'll see Trent. Burnett on first down. Bounces off his own man who was being driven backwards by Kretschmar.
Yep.
Kretschmar basically reverse blocked Hannafan right into Burnett. The collision brought John Burnett down for no gain. Kretschmar has played a great game.
He has.
Of course, he had the touchdown-saving interception late in the first half that got Alma into the break at 22-3, now 36-3. Play action for Nichols. High over the middle, tipped away by Drew Hum. Took it away.
That's when it's nice that your corner's 6'2", 6'3". Just climbed the ladder, got some fingertips on it.
Clark at 5'10". But Hum with 5 extra inches and some long arms.
Kalamazoo needs to pick this one up. They can't let that Alma offense back out on the field this quickly.
Pocket holds for Nichols, but now he steps up with nobody open and runs into Underhill. And down he goes for a sack, another Alma sack. They had 20 coming in today. Chalk up another.
Nichols is sacked by Mandy Fitzgerald. Brings up 4th down.
Punt time.
We'll see with the 33-point lead if Debski has the green light to be a little more aggressive on a Burr punt. Has not been able to return any of them so far today.
I guess Kalamazoo's just further back than what they've been because Debski's been about that 25, 20-yard line every time.
And now a timeout.
Scotty Cole called that one. I don't think he liked the lineup of his fellas there. And you're counting, I see.
5, 6, 7, 8. I think there were 12 on the field.
Well, that's a good timeout in that case.
I'm not positive because they moved.
Yeah.
I should have yelled, say, oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Need to count
Wait there. We need to know.
But that might have been it.
Yeah. I saw Scotty call that one right before the snap came, so I have a feeling that you're probably correct and save the penalty yardage and use a timeout here, get that offense back out on the field.
Albion and Trine have made a pass in terms of game time, reaching the fourth quarter before we did here, but Albion on the comeback trail. Trine up 28-20 with an extra point pending for Albion. So the Britons not going to go away quietly this year, nor did they last year. Last year's game down in Angola, this one at Albion. Trine's been in the lead all day. That game of great interest to Alma Scots fans as they lead 36-3 here against Kalamazoo. Alma with 10 defenders standing in the snap bobbled, and then Bird just going to hustle it out of there. A higher kick along the sidelines, but the same return strategy of just don't go near that. And now Tepsky gets blocked onto the top of the player downing the ball. Riley, the running back.
That's becoming more and more common to see. We've even seen defenses pick players up and try to take them to the football.
Right.
There probably is going to have to be a rule change of some sort in the offseason regarding that.
You would think so. Albion has made that extra point, so 28-21.
Your Carter St. John's day done was a little premature there.
Well, he appeared to have that blue jersey on, but maybe that might not have been him yet. Hard to tell with the alternate unis for the Alma Cares game, but Carter continues on, hands it off to Jordan Williams, and Williams is trying to get Carter closer to being at the end of his day with a big gain up the middle across the 45 of Kalamazoo down to their 44.
Jordan Williams is having a big game. Up over 50 yards on the ground for Jordan.
First down from the 43. Rolling out St. John off a fake, going to keep it himself. Slides down at the 40. Short pickup there. Kalamazoo has been as effective as any defenses I can think of against the St. John rollout pass.
Yep,
that he's had to pull those down more times today than any other game this year that I can recall, at least.
See if Scott snapped this before the quarter ends.
2 seconds to go. They will. Hand off Jordan Williams, left tackle. Good for a couple more is all. Hole squeezes down. It'll be third and about 5 when we come back for the fourth quarter. Alma leads at 36-3. Stay with us. About ready to start the fourth quarter here at Alma College. A great announcement during the quarter break. They've already raised $5,200 for the Angel Wings Fund today. Dance team members going through the bleachers right now for additional contributions, but that's going to do a lot of good right here locally. Just another benefit of this Alma Cares game being celebrated by both these teams this afternoon.
There we go. The chains stretch out.
Alma with the football, leading by 33. Third down and 5 at the Kalamazoo 38.
And to open the fourth quarter, the Scots will have possession. Third down and 5.
Carter St. John already 4 touchdowns on the afternoon. They'll have Jordan Williams out there with him. And give it to Jordan on 3rd and 5, see what he can find. What he can find is a first down, bursting now to the left and a couple extra yards almost to the 30. Wasn't a very big hole, but Jordan is one of those runners, Jeff, that can make himself small.
Yeah, he can, and he is having a lot of success. He's up around 7 yards a carry today. That was his 10th carry of the ball game.
First down, St. John rolling to his left, pressure from Blake Kelsey, and again, has to just tuck it away and run, picks up 4 or 5 more. And Alma doesn't mind that as long as he keeps gaining yardage, but not the standard procedure.
Right.
In St. John rolls. Normally, secondaries just can't hang with these Scots receivers long enough.
Now, that said, the Scots have 550 yards of offense in the ball game.
There is that. 2nd and 6, Eddie Williams. He's going to try
Khalil Brown.
Oh, you're right. Khalil Brown, who completed a pass last week, comes in and initiates contact on his first carry of the afternoon and moves the chains down to the 21. Khalil Brown out of Birch Run. His high school dropped a tough one to undefeated Millington last night.
The Scots have gotten embarrassment of riches at young running backs.
34-yard pass completion from Brown on a trick play last week. He'll get the carry on first down and finds 5 more down to the 15, maybe 6.
Washington again up the middle.
Brown on the season coming into today, 124 rushing yards and a touchdown, plus the pass touchdown last week.
There are not too many teams at the Division III level that have a player the caliber of Khalil Brown coming in as your third back.
Yeah, Khalil's your third guy? Exactly. Multiple 300-yard games in high school, including one against Alma High School. Ball thrown out into the flat on 2nd and short to McNiff. Good open field tackle by Myers to stop him short of the first down marker and set up a 3rd down.
Don't forget the Scots have got Joey Kostrubiak on the roster as well, the short yardage back.
Kostrubiak, the Romeo native, 120 yards and 2 touchdowns himself this year. And I would expect we'll see him fairly soon, though he has not been in there yet today. 3rd down and 2. McNiff and Jansen go out wide to the right, front and back. Quick burst in his setup, and Brown with the carry. Going to try to find it. Gets hit, spins, keeps his feet, trying to push, and he's pushed backwards. Just can't get the cleats to bite, and comes up about 1.5 yards short. 4th down.
See if the Scots kick the field goal or go for it here. 4th and a yard.
4th and very short, but with a 33-point lead. Kind of a interesting decision. They're going to send in Kruger, Poff, and Frenchco, which would suggest it's go time.
And Eddie Williams.
Yep. And this is one where this is playoff consideration here. This is the idea of saying, listen, voters or the committee selecting the playoffs will look at this score, and that matters. Williams hitting the backfield. He's not going to get there unless he gets away. He almost did, reaches the ball forward, and this is going to be a first down on about the 3rd effort by Eddie Williams.
Wait and see.
Garrison shaken up for Kalamazoo. Will wait on the spot. As you said, it's now closer than we thought. It's between the 11 and 10.
To me. That was an incredible run by Eddie Williams.
He looked bottled up at the 12. Somehow, a further investigation revealed him to still be vertical.
The referee is signaling first down.
And unfortunate to see Garrison shaken up, who's had a terrific day for Kalamazoo. He was at 8 tackles a while ago.
I think he may have been the one that had Eddie wrapped up on that.
Yep.
And Eddie just went through him. Garrison up into a seated position. Up now. He'll jog off. He's going to be just fine.
Good. Garrison and Curtis both listed with 9 tackles as of late in the 3rd quarter.
And it is 1st and 10?
Yeah,
1st and goal? 1st and 10. You would have to be touching the goal line to get a first down.
I would be most impressed. You need your microscope. Alma brings in Brian Morgan at running back now. They'll get some new faces out there.
Yeah,
Houghton Lake product,
yep. Exactly.
5'9", 190-pound sophomore. We'll see if he gets it here on first down. We'll have most of the first teamers in front of him. Instead, he's a fake to set up a pass into the flat to Cole Thomas, and Thomas down to the 4. 2nd and 4 from there. 11:40 and counting. There's Adam Stapleton out of UAD Jesuit, reigning player of the week after 17 tackles and a forced fumble last week against Adrian. Straight up the middle for Josiah Murphy out of Freeland. Talk about teams with exciting games last night. Freeland rallies from a 32-6 deficit against Croswell Lexington.
In the 4th quarter.
Yeah. ends up completing that courtesy of things like a kickoff over everyone's head that had to be kicked out of the end zone to keep it safe for a safety by Croswell-Lex. And then, would you say 95 yards on the touchdown
95-yarder,
pass?
yep.
To win the game to Ty Fournier. So Josiah will be pleased with that one and try to find the end zone here himself. Gets the carry from the 3, heads to his right, and there it is! Josiah Murphy with an Alma touchdown. Big celebration from the Alma coaches. They obviously wanted that one. I don't know what the particular significance is to that touchdown.
That was a beauty.
But that meant something. And Murphy in the end zone.
Big time drive right there.
42-3 as Hernandez will come on for one more PAT. And that is up and good. 43-3, Alma in control here against Kalamazoo. We'll be back. 43-3, Alma here. Back and forth game down at Albion. Albion had gotten within 7 of Trine at 28-21, but Trine comes back with a big answer. 35-21 now, off a touchdown, an extra point, 10:52 still to play, so a lot of football remaining. But Albion on the ropes and potentially facing their second conference loss. Shortish kickoff fielded from the 15 by Hannafan. Got a big burst of speed, then stumbles over his own player's ankle and falls forward to the 30. I believe he just got a piece of Durbin's ankle. And actually, that may have been Bell, whose ankle he caught. Either 42 or 12, not sure on that one, sorry.
Elsewhere in the MIAA, Hope's taking out some frustrations on Olivet.
Are they? That was 10-0 earlier. I'm guessing it's not anymore.
31-0 at halftime.
Okay.
31-0.
Olivet will come here to Balke Field next Saturday. We are hoping for a change in the weather forecast between now and then. There's a change in the forecast today that worked very much to these teams' favor, and the sun is out at the moment as Sheldon Riley picks up about 5 on first down for Kalamazoo.
Strong defensive performance here by the Scots again, though.
Brings up 2nd down and 5 for the Hornets.
2nd and 5. Clarification, it appears the Trine extra point was no good, so that game is actually 34-21, so keep that in mind. That could be important. Well, there's a discrepancy, actually. Their live stats show 35. The stream shows 34. I thought I saw the official signal good. I think that actually is 35-21. Play action fake, pump now, pump and go, looking for Kiesling, caught into Alma territory, drilled out of bounds, but a big pickup on maybe the best passing play of the day.
Somebody bid on the fake down there. The old hitch and go. It was Chandler Holloway. That shocks me.
Certainly not something you would expect.
No, I sure wouldn't. That's why I was so shocked.
They'll get another crack on Kiesling here on first down, rolling right. Nichols throws on the run, and Eli Jackson riding along.
That's Jet King at linebacker now.
Is that 14,
yep.
not 44?
Yep.
Okay. I apologize for that, folks.
It's a little tricky.
The sun being out is wonderful, but it does create some glare on these alternate jerseys for the Alma Cares game. A nice play for King then, who is in there at linebacker. Similar spot to where you might see Jackson. Soffredini does continue on. There's the big Kalamazoo shift. 2nd and down, 2nd and 6. Riley into heavy traffic.
Interestingly, though, that time even Nichols shifted. He lined up at receiver, shifted in. They had the receiver, they had Spates. at quarterback, and after all of this, we've got more laundry on the field for extracurriculars.
Sort some of that out. Alma bringing some new folks in. We mentioned the King tackle. Ethan Patrick now checks into the action. Preston Marlatt back in there, who's already played some today.
We've called his name a number of times already.
43-3. Alma on top. Kalamazoo still looking for an elusive touchdown.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 65, 15 yards from the end of the run. It's number 65's first.
So this time it is Kalamazoo being caught with the infraction on the unsportsmanlike.
Assad picked that one up, and that's a costly one, putting them into a much less comfortable down and distance.
Assad made that huge block on a running play earlier in the half.
After the penalty, the ball spotted at the 46.
Moves it back to the 46, third and about 21. Kalamazoo will need the Alma 25. Nichols finds himself on his own side of midfield to take this shotgun snap. Couple step drop, now steps up in the pocket. Slings it a little in route, tipped away. Well, not tipped away by Kiesling, who tried to fingertip it. Could not pull it in and could not get it off his own bounce. Incomplete.
Perhaps a little bit afraid of the contact that was coming.
At first, it almost looked to me, Jeff, like he was trying to pass it off. I was looking for a hook and ladder or something with the way he tried to catch that, but I think you're right. I think that was just worried as to who might be lurking. Xavier Urquhart checks in for Alma, 4th and 21, and Kalamazoo will go for it. 43-3 Alma. Let's see what Nichols can draw up here. They go on 2. Alma gets a lot of pressure. This is trouble for Nichols, and he's sacked. Flags.
I wonder if they had the face mask, Toph.
That would be the potential Alma issue. There's also a risk of a hold for Kalamazoo trying to hold on to anything as Alma brought the house, but Nichols got spun around awkwardly, and you might be right.
Yeah, Scots are sending a lot of new defenders out there, so.
Yeah, that's not the offense coming out, so.
I have a feeling they know what it is.
And sometimes that's tough when you get that many defenders there. There's only so much stuff to grab onto, and the hand finds the face mask. Yep. Drew Hum comes off. King returns. Holloway returns. And there's the signal. It's going to be a personal foul face mask.
He wants to talk about it some more.
Well, there's a signal with no audible announcement, and now a conversation.
Well, he pump faked his signal, too. I think he wants a number, maybe.
Personal foul. Defense, number 28, face mask. 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic. First down.
So Tyler Walters, the converted running back, now defensive back, coming on the blitz out of the secondary. Picks up a courtesy flag instead. Automatic first down at the 40. Kalamazoo will keep the drive alive with 8.5 to go. Nichols with good protection down the right side. Wide open on the far sideline, and a little interior move by Hannafan. And he's down to the 15. He has been awfully good today.
Nichols pass complete to Lucas Hannafan.
Yes, he has been.
Hannafan, just a sophomore, used sparingly last year.
Scots would like to keep him out of the end zone here.
No shutout to preserve, but just 3 points on the board for Kalamazoo today. They'll threaten again, as we said, a 90% red zone team on the year. Thrown into the flat. Durbin caught at the 8, down to the 5.
Certainly want to score. They've got all their first teamers in there.
And that should be first and goal.
Yes.
Yes. So that was a first down. So 4 more cracks. Kretschmar had an interception down here at the end of the first half. Empty backfield. Now not so empty as Riley returns. Often this has been for pass protection, but he'll take it on a carry this time. Not much space in the middle, but the pile moving. Good strength from Kalamazoo all the way down inside the 2.
Riley, the ball carrier.
Scots will try a couple new faces. 2nd and goal from the 2. Kalamazoo looking for that touchdown they haven't been able to find all day. Nichols drops, lobs it up high, and a diving try incomplete at the 1-yard line. Give that credit to a flying Jet King, though, who was way up high and forced Nichols to lob that, not where he really wanted to, looking for Spades.
3rd and goal from the 1. Maybe even back to the 2, actually. Call it the 2.
Nichols tells his offensive line what he wants for the protection. 3rd and goal. Alma by 40. A lot of pressure thrown out into the flat, and a diving catch. Took a lot of effort, falling over backwards, but Riley with his 2nd receiving touchdown on the year brings it to 43-9.
That was not the easiest catch ever.
No, a little backward somersault and all. So Kalamazoo gets some points out of that. Remember, this game last year was 45-21. Alma led it 38-7. Kalamazoo put up a couple of late touchdowns. And now Madison Barch out of Utica will look for her 17th extra point of the year, and she's got it. 6:55 to play here in the 4th. We'll be back. Alma and Kalamazoo. Alma looking in control.
Our score was 6 minutes.
(43-10) off of Sheldon Riley's touchdown catch and Madison Barch's extra point. Barch a career 27-32 on PATs now. Went 6 of 7 kicking field goals back in high school at Utica. She's got a tremendous leg. It's a brief social media sensation, drilling a 55-yarder in a big crosswind in a practice setting. And back to a 33-point Alma lead. Deep kickoff from Burris will be fielded by McNiff at the 3. Poff out front gets a little bit of a block, and the next defender hauls McNiff down at the 25-yard line. Nice tackle there by Dustin Noble.
Now we're going to see Trent Devereaux.
There we go. Devereaux, the Chesaning High School graduate out of Oakley, Michigan. On the season, 12 of 21, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception, plus a rushing touchdown. Threw for 1,202 yards back in 2021, but supplanted from the role when Carter St. John arrived. But Scots want to get him as many reps as possible. Make sure he's ready should he be called upon. They'll open with a handoff to Jordan Williams, and Williams with a big pickup.
Not Jordan Williams,
you're right.
that's John Allen.
John Allen, that's a 0, not a 9, and Allen with a big gain into Kalamazoo territory. Allen, the native of Fort Wayne, Indiana.
A big-time burst.
All the way to the 45 of Kalamazoo goes John Allen. Allen again on first down, same play. This time turns it up into a smallish hole for a gain of a couple.
Scots aren't going to change that tempo.
Looking over on the Kalamazoo sideline, we see Dawson Scoopin warming up. He'll come in at quarterback for Nichols on the next Hornets possession, presumably.
Cameron Cole into the backfield now for the Scots. Out of Romeo.
Of course, Romeo, the previous home of the Couch family. Our coach Jason Couch ran the program along with Kurt Arenas for a number of years. Throw over the middle by Devereaux, complete.
That was a great throw by Devereaux.
30.
Sullivan.
Snagged down there by by Braden Sullivan, yes, who you talked about. From Standish Sterling.
That was a fantastic throw from Devereaux, though.
Sullivan in there. So is Joey Shallow out of Rochester Adams.
Now the Scots are going to slow it down a little bit.
Hand off Cole. Breaks one tackle, but not a second. Pickup of a yard down to about the 28. And Khalil Brown back in. He'll get another shot in the running back rotation.
2 yards. Brings up 2nd down and 8 from the 28.
Shallow in the front, Sullivan in the back of the train on the left-hand side. And off Brown, hurdles over an offensive lineman and speeds his way down to about the 14-yard line.
That was fairly impressive.
Quick
Devereaux
burst.
comes off. They're going to change quarterbacks.
We've got an injury here.
Going to be Donovan Salters.
Yeah, we've got a Kalamazoo player shaken up.
We do. That, I assume we're going to have to move. I think it's number 49, Brennan Penny.
I can't see the number yet, so I was waiting. You maybe got a better view than I do, but Alma down to the 14-yard line on the Speedy Brown carry. Give us a chance to update action from down at Albion, where the clock has run down to 4:06. Albion got a nice stop, and they are driving, but trailing 35-21.
That matters big time.
And you were correct on your personnel diagnosis of Panucci from North Muskegon, and he's walking off the field.
Yep, he'll be all right. Well, Khalil Brown hit that hole. Well, he didn't hit that hole. He jumped through the hole.
So Salters from New Jersey in there with yet another new face at running back.
Braylon McDonald or Brendan Coulter.
Probably
Coulter, probably from Roscommon.
Coulter is the one that I recognize.
Yep. Probably Coulter.
Also see Dylan Craig in at wide receiver out wide to the right. Salters gives it to Coulter, a nice burst inside the 10. Loses the football, though. And I believe Kalamazoo fell on this one. So third turnover of the day now for both teams. Alma got one of those back themselves earlier when Eddie Williams was separated from the ball.
Kalamazoo does do a good job of forcing those fumbles.
We mentioned that they were tied with Alma for 7th in the country, with 10 fumbles forced coming into today. A little under 5 minutes to play in this one, and that'll bring in Skupin at quarterback. Tell you a little bit about Dawson Skupin out of South Line, a 6'4", 190-pound sophomore, 8 of 16 for 118 yards and a couple touchdowns on the year. His brother Anton played quarterback for Eastern Michigan. Brings his skills over to Kalamazoo and gets into the action here in the final 5 minutes. Skupin goes on to, hands it off to Bell. Doesn't find much space along the right side, and a flag after the play.
In. Calhoun was on that tackle.
Ryan Calhoun, an Alma High School native. Wait here, it appears Albion has scored. Looking at a replay on this one, but 35-28.
Kay's going to get penalized for unnecessary roughness here.
Backs them up to the 5-yard line, but
half the distance to the goal wasn't very far, frankly. So
true.
After the penalty, Kalamazoo was 2nd down and long.
Bell, the running back, for Skupin. And now 2nd and about 15. Skupin hands it off, and Bell bursts through a hole across the 10, the 15, into the Alma secondary at the 20, and eventually driven out of bounds. Hogan giving chase. A different Alma player got there first, but a big first down despite the 2nd and long situation. Mark Connor Bell out at the 27.
To push him out. Has enough yardage for a Kalamazoo first down, 1st and 10.
I'll tell you, it's very interesting down here with Trine and Albion as we monitor that in the background. The live stream continues to say it's a 6-point game. The live stats say 7. We believe it is 7.
Yeah.
Skupin on first down, dancing around against a lot of Alma pressure. Now rolling right, going to take off along the sideline. Ducks out of bounds there. Guided out by a couple of Alma players after a short gain. 9th carry of the season for Skupin, had 15 yards prior to that.
Picks up a yard in the end. 2nd down and 9.
1 yard pickup, 2nd and 9, 3.5 minutes to play. Motion from Josh Anderson to the top side of the field for Kalamazoo. And scooping under a lot of pressure from Calhoun. Running for his life and running for the sideline for safety. Wisely so, goes out of bounds after another short gain. Initial pressure came from Calhoun, and then Bennett Hendrickson joined in the chase. Third down and 7. Alma bluffing a blitz. And scooping in trouble. Cannot get away
anymore.
And the Alma pressure gets there. Dawson Scoopin sacked for a couple-yard loss. And Alma's going to come away with this game with pretty good sack numbers despite the elusiveness of Nichols. Kalamazoo just forced to throw so many times that the law of averages ends up working in the Alma defense's favor.
They're going to punt here.
Burr will come on and punt it away with 2:40 and counting clock running.
That brings up 4th down and long for the Hornets. They send the punt team. Ian Burr to punt. Schneider back deep.
About 3 minutes left in Albion and trying to pick up a first down or two. They are going to the air. Nice pass to one of their mini receivers. And a whistle right before
didn't get it off.
Going to be a delay here.
I thought they stood there for quite a long time.
Clock ran down to 2:17 before the non-punt. It's been a beautiful afternoon here at Alma College. Did not necessarily look like it would be, but the sun's shining on the Alma Cares game. All these Scots players honoring a cancer patient, survivor, or somebody lost to cancer. They will give those jerseys to the honorees or their families after the game is complete. Burr gets a high hanging punt away, and Debsky's like, wait a minute, I've never seen one of these from you.
Yeah, I ended up having to make a diving catch for it.
Fair catch back at the 44, as after a series of very effective line drives, we see the high hanger out of Burr this time. And Alma will have another 2 minutes and 10 seconds to roll a few more folks out. What will be the next to last regular season home game. Of course, now with every passing week increasing their hopes of running the table, making the postseason, and then seeing if the NCAA might let them play right here as they did last year in a win against Mount St. Joseph before the eventual loss to Aurora. Aurora, of course, lighting up the scoreboard.
They are.
This season. Hand off on first down. I saw a 0 out there, but was it Allen? Okay. Couldn't tell if there were any more numbers next to that 0.
It was John Allen.
Second down and 9 as Salters continues at quarterback. Clock running, minute and 49. Shallow switches places with Sullivan, and now they switch back. Shallow caught a touchdown pass against Martin Luther last season. Probably not going to be targeted through the air here, I wouldn't think. But we'll see what the Scots decide to do. It'll be Allen again, and he's got a big hole this time. Hops across the 45-yard line like there was a tripwire and down to the 43.
It's first down yardage, and the Scots will be able to run this one out.
Under a minute now to play, and the Scots can kneel if they want to. It appears that Zane Kirby and Trine have picked up a crucial first down. Now down to 2:30 to play in that one. Trine clinging to a touchdown lead. First down, Alma. They will still run a traditional play, this one with Cole. He gets 4 to the Kalamazoo 40, clock down to 36 seconds. And now Alma does not even have to run another play, and they will assemble in the handshake line. Going to be a final here, 43-10. Alma victorious against Kalamazoo. Carter St. John tacks on 4 more touchdown passes. Alma in control the whole way. A few things to clean up, but on the whole, they'll be delighted as they move to 7-0 and get that much closer to a second straight MIAA title. We'll pause, come back with a postgame show right after this. Back here at Alma College, if I was to predict what Jason Couch will tell you at the coaches show, I think he'll say it was a great day. Here, the Alma Cares game, the celebrations, the families being honored, and Alma with another comfortable victory where they do a lot of things right along the way, starting right from play one, an 85-yard touchdown to Devin Frenchko. Scots knock off Kalamazoo 43-10 this afternoon.
Just a job well done, getting done what needed to get done. A victory here at Balke Field. Need another one next week. Keep it rolling is what the Scots need to do. And, like you said, still a couple of penalty issues to maybe figure out. But outside of that, things are going awfully well for these Scots. 73
penalty yards unofficially as the live stats start to catch up. But overall, 655 total yards for Alma on the day, 386 through the air, 269 on the ground as they march it up and down the field. Alma was hampered by 3 turnovers, but they forced 3 of their own. And just another relatively comprehensive performance. Everything went pretty darn well as Alma took care of business.
And set the tone early. Again, the long touchdown on their first offensive play from scrimmage.
And also, Alma will be delighted as the live stats read 0-0-0 down at Albion, where Trine has knocked off the Brits and dropped Albion to 1-2 in conference play. Trine has only 1 conference loss, but that's against Alma. Hope has only 1 conference loss, but that's against Alma.
That's big.
So Alma now in position that a couple more wins could clinch the conference title even a week early, as things have broken very much their way so far. Still a long ways to go, of course, and lots on the line. They'll be back here next week against Olivet. Run through a few final individual stats here before we sign off. First for Kalamazoo, Josh Nichols goes 25 of 41, 224 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. Hannafan leads the way with 5 grabs for 77 yards, 6 catches for Kiesling for 58. And then Durbin had 4 catches out of the tight end spot for 26. Rushing it was Bell, 38 yards is all. They spread the rushing totals around. Bell 38, Riley 36, Burnett 31. So they end up with 105 rushing yards split between 3 backs. Over for Alma individually, though, what a day again for Carter St. John. 23 of 26, 374 yards. Not a career high. That number is 385. 4 touchdowns, not a career high. That number is 5. Did throw 1 interception along with 2 traditional incompletions is all. Devin Frenchko continues his gaudy numbers. 5 catches, 142 yards. Believe it or not, that's 28 yards per catch, which lowers his yards per catch on the season overall. 1 touchdown for Frenchko. Zach Poff, 6 catches, 78 yards, and 2 scores. And then don't forget Broderick Miller caught a 2-point conversion and a touchdown along the way. He had a terrific day for the Scots defensively. Eli Jackson leads the way with 11 tackles. No one else for Alma with more than 5 tackles as they just spread it around as they so often do. Sacks on the day, it looks like a total of 4 Alma sacks, solo sacks credited to Mativa and Underhill, and then split sacks between 4 other players who contributed. Interceptions by Kretschmar and Deichelbohrer along the way as well. Any final thoughts before we sign off?
Just another fantastic day at Balke Field. Hope everybody comes out next Saturday. Come out to the Coach's Show on Wednesday. We'll recap this one, look ahead to the game against Olivet next Saturday at 7 o'clock again. We'll be on the air 7:15 with Coach Couch. Look forward to it.
Right, and a 1 o'clock kickoff against Olivet on Saturday, so 12:45 pregame for that. And stay tuned to what happens in the high school football pairings depending upon